one. Hello, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with my exquisite friend, Christopher. I don't even know what that is. My Justin. He's my Justin.
He's my Justin.
No, he's my Justin.
Please, there's Justins for everyone.
And my other Justin friend, Michael. Yeah, you didn't see that one coming, did you? That's right. And you all thought I was going to use my Storyteller's Thesaurus this year. No, I'm not. Welcome back to the Strange Game 1, Part 3.
Yeah.
That's Tree Boys. We
made
excited to be here. We are so excited to be here on this beautiful Wednesday night. Thank you all for joining us. Everyone on the Facebook group, Mahomes, good for you. So this is the Strange Game 1 Part 3. This is a really wacky system, and we're having a lot of fun with it. The Cipher system is always really cool to roll with. So this might be an 18-plus show. I think so far it kind of hasn't been. I think we've said some fucks and some poops, but I don't think those are bad words. I don't think those are 18-plus worthy, do we?
Shakespeare said worse. The standards are going up.
The standards are going up or down?
18. Down? Standards are going down.
Are the standards going down if more swear words are allowed to come out? Because I think then ours... Put it this way. Our quality's going down for sure. But this might be an 18-plus show, so be wary if you have little children standing by. You know, turn them away and go put them in front of Game of Thrones or something like that. Because this is going to get mature. That too.
Standing by.
This is going to get mature, so you know, make sure. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and like the video. That means you give it a thumbs up or whatever the hell YouTube has now, because it makes us feel real special and it gives us that accreditation that we so desperately need because our father never gave it to us. One of those things. So go ahead and like it on Facebook or on YouTube. Also, speaking of Facebook, you better be part of our Facebook group. Go ahead and join it. It is facebook.com/group/theinvictusstream. That's right. I had it up so I can read it this time. It's where all the cool people are. It's where everyone gets to meet and talk and have fun and post really terrible pictures of themselves that, as we were looking at, actually, we kind of get really concerned about, such as our very own little Mikey here, who just posted this picture like moments ago. And
luckily, it's EpiPen ready, and
yeah, it's one of those swells right up. But everyone cool is in the group. We have over 200 members, which is a big thing for us, little Canadian boys. So go ahead and join that because it's a lot of fun. If you are a Twitter person, then follow us on Twitter. We are at INVICTUSstream. So you can tweet us, and you can follow us, and you can shoot us, and you can love us, and you can hate us. So those are all the options that you can do things to us. Just do things to us. If you're part of the Facebook group, you're going to know that we reward a little bit of experience points, which allows you to help these guys, which might come in handy tonight. You can spend experience points to let these guys get health back, 1d6 of whatever heals them, the skill points, I guess it is, or the pool points. You can also spend 10 to do some crazy stuff, 15 to do an intrusion, actually, which is really cool, because those are the evil things that I do. So you can spend that experience point, and you get those experience points by joining the group, as well as winning little weekly contests, such as the most valuable post. Now, this week's most valuable post was a bit of a conundrum. We had a very long and honest and frank discussion with ourselves about who deserved this post the mostest. And while Mike wanted to do Aisha's post for Theric with the tiny little T-Rex arms, I believe was the one that you're looking at, because Theric from our Numenera campaign had tiny little T-Rex arms. And we made fun of him constantly for it. We had decided that this week's winner is going to Mr. Dom Brown for his post on splitting up the group. And there were a lot of great posts about communication, things like that. And let me just say, there is some fantastic stuff going on in that group. The community is brilliant because you guys are posting pictures. Jose last week and this week are some amazing pictures. You guys are doing little, again, you're still doing some vignettes and things like that. You're asking questions. Do not stop. And let me just mention, if you're ever self-conscious about posting anything, this group and community are so supportive. No one's going to feel stupid. There are no stupid questions. They've all been asked by Chris before we start streaming every Wednesday. You can't. There's none left.
Wednesdays?
Yes, your name is spelled with a CH. How many times do we have to tell you this? Dodo brain. That's funny for many reasons. Anyway, so MVP Don Brown for your question about splitting up the group, which is a conundrum that we all face. You know, do you split up the group for story purposes? What's the best way to go about it? And you know, do the players like it? So good job, man. Well done. The other big way that we like to reward experience points is with these weekly polls. And you know what I'm getting at, you Sci-fi bastards. The Sci-fi poll! The Sci-fi poll. There were some great submissions this week, some really, really funny ones, some really exciting ones, and I am happy to read this one. I'm happy this one won, to be honest. And I know Greg Bush is going to be happy that this one won as well. First place of this week's Cipher, which is going to be featured in-game, is going to be Gray Cereals with My Wallet. Gray's one is hilarious. It's actually really good, and basically, I don't remember the actual verbiage, but the way it basically came across to me is that anyone who has this wallet, sees this wallet, someone else holding it, they immediately think it's their wallet, which I just think is freaking hilarious. Oh, here it goes. A wallet, when held up, will make every being who views it truly believe that it is in fact their wallet. It does not even matter what the civilization, if the civilization does not use paper currency, or they know it's their wallet and they want it, whatever it contains, back. So I think that's freaking hilarious. So well done, Gray. That is fantastic. A very palpable win. I thought that was very, very cool. You'll notice that the Like This Post for XP post is up. It's pinned to the top, so if you can't see it and you're on mobile, make sure you check that little pinned post section because they always get hidden there. So that was first place. Second place is going to go to Oscar Nikolai Liaz for the book of Actually. Again, this one actually I didn't read, but I read it when I originally posted it, but I'm not too sure what it is. So that might be a surprising one for the stream. And third place is Bob Lyle with the Call of Cthulhu. So this week we didn't have to figure out the way that it's going to be working if people tie, but those are your top three. So Gray, 4 points, Oscar, 3 points, Bob, 2 points, and everybody who's submitting the cipher, 1 point. Well done, guys. I'm going to do a horn because too much applause, kills it, and we don't want that all the time. Who am I kidding? I live off it. It's blood for me.
Makes it better.
Yeah, I live off blood. That's right. So well done, guys. Fantastic job. A lot of fun and some hilarious stuff. Keep them coming. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to post the next one to see. And I think this week we should do a theme. What do you guys think?
Definitely.
Yeah. Chris?
No.
What theme should we do?
Oh, okay.
Justin?
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. I thought you.
No, it takes me a while to process things.
Chris, go ahead. What's the theme?
I lost it. Go ahead, Justin.
No, go ahead. What's the theme?
Stuck on a desert island and being attacked by zombies, you have one weapon.
That's a really specific theme. I like it. I think that's a challenge these guys can handle. Okay, so the cipher this week has to be something that if you're stuck on a desert island, you
are being attacked by zombies.
Attacked by zombies.
You get one weapon.
You get one weapon, and that's the cipher theme. So
nice.
Let's, we'll blanket that to Castaway Zombie Weapon. So Castaway Zombie Weapon. That's your theme this week. That means you can't have. Well, that still kind of encompasses everything, but you know what? Whatever.
You can't have a wallet because zombies when it.
That's right. It's got to be weapon.
So at least we want to have that repeat.
Right. So
which it's great, one-time thing.
No, I like that. So it's got to be a weapon of some sort. So there you go. That's the theme this week. I'll try to remember that for tomorrow when I post. And so submit them along those lines. Now we're about to get into the game, but I want to mention something really cool. For a long time. We have debated about how to involve you guys, the community, more into our games, and frankly, it's tough because we have so many people that want to play. And there's no real fair system. I mean, a lot of people have been here since the beginning and have wanted to join in games and things like that. Well, we think that we found a really cool middle ground. And there's this new website. I don't even know it's new, actually. It's new to us. It's new to me. A new website for me called
Discord.
discordapp.com. And basically what we've done, and you know what? Oh, the ability, I can screen share it now. This is so great. This is kind of what it looks like. And basically it is a little bit of our way to role play with you guys and allow you guys to role play together as well. I'm going to go into more detail tomorrow. I'm going to do a proper post and everything like that. But if you want to check out what it is, and if you're curious what it is, it's called Discord app. Someone will post it in the Facebook chat. You can take a look at it. And basically, it's going to give you guys and us a place where we can chat, interact, or do voice chats, and maybe run a game or play a game. So, for instance, I know, like Bob Lyle, maybe he joins, and maybe you want to run a little bit of a game because you have a quick one-shot, maybe a half-hour game in mind. You can chat into this bar and say, I have a mission for you guys, and you can kind of play a little bit of a GM. Also, it gives you the opportunity that if you want to play something else, someone else in the community can run a little bit of a game, or one of us can run a little bit of a game. So it's just a way that we can all get together and spend time in a closed environment and be safe. So that we're going to officially announce tomorrow, but we're really excited about it, and if you're curious about it, you can check it out after the stream, because we got some strange things going on tonight. Isn't that right, Justin?
Ooh, so strange.
Michael, is there some strange going on tonight?
Yes. Yeah, maybe.
Whoa, that was like Phantom Menace sped up.
Well, actually, I was just picturing motorboating you. That's really what it came to.
It was good. I really liked it, and it made me feel like I want to do better by you. And you know what? I put it off for long enough. Michael, will you marry me?
There is no wrong answer to that question.
Yes, there is, and you just did it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Strange Game 1, Part 3. We are ready. Anyone else have anything to say before we start this? Don't all talk at once.
I love you guys.
I love you. Please be safe.
And I would just like to say that the only reason that we're doing this online chatting role-playing game is because we still haven't come up with enough funds to fly everyone here to Canada to just do a big tabletop game, because that's really what we were planning. But
yeah, and with the way the Canadian dollar is right now,
well, it's actually probably really cheap for them to come here. I mean,
yeah, you come here. We just can't afford it. All right, Justin, my theme song, please. The Skeleton King laughed at the three homesick travelers as he shut the hatch to the labyrinth. Not in a menacing way, more in a way as if to say, I'm really enjoying myself here. And as they stood in darkness, questioning what they should do next, a thought of what I, the narrator, had just said as he shut the hatch to the labyrinth ran through their minds. A labyrinth? They each thought silently. Shit. They each struck up a torch and waited for the narrator to stop talking, which he did. But not after pointing out that they would have found out eventually anyway. In fact, he helped give them a viable option rather than proceeding forward without a single clue as to where they are, getting tangled and mangled in the deadly, ungodly labyrinth filled with giant rats. Oh, crumbs. Again, the narrator momentarily questioned his sharing of the knowledge that were in fact giant rats in the labyrinth, but felt hard-pressed to find a person who wouldn't benefit from that knowledge. For one, he knew that without a bit of help they wouldn't get past the Dink. It was a clever puzzle that the Skeleton King quite crap. The narrator decided to stop talking and read the title. Chapter 3. The narrator says too much.
Oh, man. I broke it.
What'd you break?
That condom. I was going to use it later.
So you guys are standing in darkness after the trap door is shut upon you. Justin, I am going to give you an intrusion option.
Ooh. All right.
So it begins.
Does it have something to do with the horn of Brockenshire that I broke?
Oh, let's find out. You want to take it or not?
I'm gonna take it. I will take the intrusion.
That's the way to do it. Okay, so you get an XP and you can give an XP to someone else.
I am going to give whoever consoles me first the experience point.
Your head's not that bad.
Oh, too mean.
That was a compliment assault. Or
No,
no,
I missed the
this was an
first bit.
insult.
Nothing.
I love your hat. Give it to Mike though. He needs it.
All right,
Well,
I'm giving it to Liam because
You're
I'm not
not.
sure if that was
Because
a
the intrusion is you've
compliment or
accepted it and you're giving it to Liam, but the issue is that part of the intrusion is that you, now bathed in darkness, freak out and you start running around wildly. And as the two of you holding torches are standing there, you see him leave the light and disappear. And Dex, as you run around in the dark, you bump into a wall and you stop and you have no idea where you are.
Can we see him at this point? Or has he gone beyond the torchlight?
He has gone beyond the torchlight.
Did my character hear this all-present narration voice?
Oddly enough, each of you did, yeah. And you've heard it from the beginning, but it seems more...
But it's like it was in my head almost.
Actually, no. It was like booming.
Out loud, really.
Like everyone could hear it.
Yeah, you guys heard that, right? Dex, where are you? Where'd you go?
I don't know.
He's in the dark.
Smile.
Can we get a rough idea of how... Oh, jeez.
There we go. Thank you.
Can we get a rough idea of how big the room we're in is, how many exits, that sort of thing?
No, you can't see anything past just the circle around you. And you feel almost like the darkness might be magical. But what I can tell you is that based on what the Skeleton King has told you, you feel that, and the way that the sound travels, feels like you're in some sort of a maze of sorts. So based on a north, south, east, west sort of perimeter, the wall to your east, the wall to your right, is solid. But to the north, south, and west are all open passages.
Well, if I know anything about playing with those labyrinth things I used to have at the restaurants when I used to eat as a kid, as long as you keep your hand on the right side of the wall at all times, eventually you'll find the exit.
Have we found Dex yet, or should we wander off in the direction that he ran to?
That's a good question. Or do we let him come to us?
Because he will see the light eventually.
So Dex, you're standing in the dark, and it feels almost claustrophobic.
And do I feel calm now?
Is
Is the claustrophobia helping?
Yeah, it's helping with your impending sense of fear.
I feel like I'm in a
now you're
womb.
afraid that you're in a womb. Yeah.
Oh, that's much better. Where did I run? I don't know where I ran, eh?
You have no idea. You just started running off.
Okay, then in that case, you know what? I'm going to do what any sane person would do in this situation and shout, "Hey,
Okay.
guys, guys!" I couldn't run that far.
No, probably not. You know, whatever.
So I'll start to head towards where I hear the voice coming from.
Do we hear
So-
the voice?
So Justin, first off, you call into the darkness, and for a second you think, this is like a great idea. This is a really good idea. Bring them to me.
Brilliant.
And then you hear like a scurrying, like a bunch of little like feet in the darkness, and then Mike and Chris, you hear him scream too.
I hear little feet.
It's Porrick. Don't worry. It's not Porrick. He's dead. All right. Well, I don't think he's going to find his way out without us helping him out there, Liam. Let's start walking, at least in a direction. Hope for the best. Stay within my torchlight, and I'll stay within yours. That way we don't get lost.
Absolutely. Okay.
Let's start by keeping our hand on the wall, and like I said, if we trace the wall, it should be a continuous loop, and eventually we'll get out.
Okay, so I'm going to sort of keep holding the torch that I have,
Okay.
Yeah.
letting the tip or the end of it kind of brush the wall so that I can also keep a hand sort of on Sly, because I don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
The torch that I have.
Oops. Someone got excited and listening to themselves.
So with your right hands on the wall, that means that you guys are going north, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and basically, I asked you guys to grab some grid paper, and you at home can follow with grid paper too, because this is the labyrinth. So, in a north, south, east, west type passage, you are moving to the north 1 square, and you do, and you move north 1 square, and the wall to the north of you now is a wall, and there's a wall to the west of you, but there's an open passage to the east.
If I turn east, is there a wall then on my right side?
If you turn east?
Yeah, so the north, I got my hand on the north wall, or I'm going north,
Correct.
and then if I turn east, it would be
So
a
as you
right-hand
step-
turn.
And again, just think of it like a grid. So as you step forward, that wall ceases, and you turn to follow it around, right?
Yeah, okay.
So then you continue following that. So again, going grid by grid would probably be easiest. So basically, you go north 1,
Okay.
and you see that there's a wall now in front of you and a wall to your west. And now you continue where your hand was, and you go 1 to the east.
Yep.
And that wall is now to the south of you.
Yep.
Where your hand is still on it, and there is now a wall to the north, south, east, west from your original starting position on the east, and there is an open passage to the north of you.
Okay, so then I'm going to go north again.
Perfect. So you continue following the wall, and you put your hand on it, and you're now at a dead end.
Okay, then I will,
And there's a laugh in the darkness.
I'm going to keep my hand on the wall, always on the right-hand side, and just follow it around the dead end until I'm going west.
Okay. So you're drawing this out, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. And the reason I'm doing that partially is so that we're all thinking that we're in the same place. So meanwhile, Justin, what are you doing? You've heard a scuttering in the dark.
Well, I thought of something funny, so I'm laughing maniacally.
Okay. What did you think of that's funny?
Oh, nothing. No, that's just the laughter that they heard was Dex.
Oh, that's funny.
And so Dex hears a scurrying. Where is it coming from? What direction?
Again, using the north, south, east, west, it sounds like it's coming from the north.
The north.
But you're standing in a position now as you kind of feel your way around the walls. Based on the same positioning, we're all going to go the same positioning, kind of on a looking down north, south, east, west grid. The wall to your east and the wall to the south of you, there are walls.
So
The passage to the north and the passage to the west are open.
Okay. So in that case, I'm going to go to the west.
Okay. So you
I
take,
hear rats. I hear something. If that narrator was right, then there's rats to the north.
okay, so you take a step to the west,
Yes.
and now there is a wall to your north and a wall to your west and a passage to your south.
Oh, okay.
And as you move, you hear the rats scurrying.
Getting closer.
They don't sound like they're getting closer, no.
Okay. Then I guess I can go south.
Yes. So you take a step to the south, and now there is a wall to the east, a wall to and a wall to the east, and that's it. Everything else is open.
He doesn't see any light at all.
At this point, no.
Okay.
So going back to Sly and Liam. So again, kind of continuing on, if you want to keep that
Right
thing
hand.
to the right.
Oh,
It's easiest
yeah.
if you just tell me the positioning, and then you kind of keep a mental track of the wall that you're
Yeah,
touching.
so I believe we went north and then east,
And then north again.
and then staying along that wall, we would go north again if it opens up again.
Correct, and it was a dead end. So you basically started, you went north, east, north, and you found a dead end. Now do you want to go back to your original positioning?
I'm a little confused.
Show me your map so far.
I'm not gonna be able to see it.
Can't see it.
Okay.
Where was your
You
start?
see, my starting
that is-
area was. So we should be
So you-
basically in that.
No,
so this
sorry.
trapdoor.
No,
We
that's
went
not.
north, then east, and then I guess we'd be going north again.
Here, I'll show you this. I had a backup just in case. So this is what we've seen so far. Hoo-hoo. So the hole is where you started. Can you see this?
Yep.
So this is where you started. You went up one,
Yep.
over one, and
Ah,
up one. So that's where we're at.
okay, so that's how you're doing it.
Yes.
But then there's a dead end somewhere.
That was a dead end that you walked into, yes.
Okay.
And rather than tracking back, I can just say, do you want to start back at the starting spot?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sure.
Okay, so again, you
So
have the passage to your north, which you've already kind of uncovered. You have the passage to your south and the passage to your west.
Let's go south.
And now that you're back at the hole, actually, Dex, you see a little bit of light
Ah, coming from what direction?
coming from the west.
The west. To the west I go then.
Not directly to the west, but you can see a little bit of light coming from that direction.
Okay, well, right now where I am, I've got an opening to the south and an opening to the west, right?
And an opening to the north that you just came from.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to the west.
Okay, so you take one to the west. You still hear scuttering, but it seems like it's kind of, again, farther behind you. And you can almost see the light. And while it's not directly to the west of you, you feel that if you move over one, you would be able to see the light.
Okay. I'm going to do Okay, no. I'll wait.
And at this point, to the north and south of you are both walls.
Okay.
We'll
Perfect.
let you go again because the other two are eating.
Okay, in that case, I'm going. We really got to find Dex.
Then we just have to
Priority.
share the llamas present.
It's of top priority.
All right. Glad you guys are so worried about me. I got to go west again.
Okay, you take one step to the west, and now to the west of you is a wall. To the south of you is an open passage, and to the north of you stand Liam and Sly.
Sky.
And
What
they're
are, the
waving
walls,
at you.
what are the walls made out of as we're touching them?
Perfect. So it's sort of a really fine stone, almost like a marble, but there's this slimy residue on the wall. And as you approach the hole again.
Oh, I'm not approaching.
Oh, sorry. Okay, as you look at them from one square away.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them from the darkness.
Okay.
Creepy.
Okay, perfect. But you hear the rats scuttering again, and they sound like they're behind you a bit.
Okay.
But do whatever you want.
I'll wait. I'll wait and see where they move.
Interesting. Liam and Sly.
All right.
And Justin, just in the meantime, show me what you got so far, because I want to make sure. I want to see what you're
Well,
at.
mine is going to be really hard to see. I don't know if you'll even be able to see it right now, but okay. So, in terms of the hole, then here, this would be the hole. I had to start fresh, right? Because I got separated, so I had to start a new one.
Well, now you should have a completed map, or a more complete map, by bashing your heads together.
It's the scale and everything.
So I've got, should be able to see this down here.
That is exactly right.
Oh, I was making mine topographical.
How are you making a topic?
Justin gets so far the award for best map making skills because he's doing it in the most proper.
What? How is mine not proper?
I don't know, but you were wrong and he was right. I didn't do anything different. I'm just reading what I see. Your turn, Sly.
I give up making this map. I'm going to be back under the hole where we dropped down.
You are. Yep, you're under the hole right now.
All right, so I'm going to go north 1 square.
Okay, so you've already cleared the whole north.
Yeah,
Completely.
that was just the north, up, and that was the end, I believe.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's nothing wet. Okay, so I'll go west.
Yes, you can go west.
I'll go west 1.
Perfect. So now to the north of you and the south of you are a wall. The west is open.
I will keep going west, another 1.
Okay. Now the south and the west of you there is a wall, but the north is open. And what are you doing, Dex? Because you would have seen them move out.
I'm going to follow them.
Okay,
So
from like the darkness?
I'm gonna stay one step away. I'm just trying to figure out the best time.
Yeah, what's the mentality here? Tell us what Dex is thinking.
He's trying to come up with a clever prank.
We're in the labyrinth to find the king's crown, but
Well, I mean,
pranks are good.
you gotta have a good time too.
We were
right?
just fighting undead soldiers, but
I almost died.
That's true, actually.
he's got to live with them.
Yeah. So so I go west, and it's wall to the
North.
From the hole, it's wall to the north, wall to the south, and then the next one.
Is where they are at, and it's wall to the west and wall to the south.
I'm gonna go north, I guess.
Okay, and now it's walls on your east and west, and the north is still open.
Go what, north again?
And now there's walls to the north and the west, and the east is open.
Okay, I will go east.
And the south and the east now have a wall, and the north is open.
I will go north.
And the north and the west now have walls, and the east is open. And roll intellect.
Okay.
Not really my forte.
That's right. 6.
Okay. Continue.
Does the floor seem solid? Because I'm gonna go ahead and assume there's a
You
trap.
haven't really been searching anything. You're just kind of walking blindly in a labyrinth of death.
Well, I didn't know it was a labyrinth of death. I thought it was a fun house. All right, so I'm gonna go north because that's all that's open right now.
Yes. Did I say that? North? Yeah.
No, east. East is
Yeah,
open
east
right
is
now.
open. Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I didn't move you up one.
What? How is east
Yeah.
open?
The north and west is blocked, and the east is open.
Oh yeah, but we went east, didn't we?
No,
And
you
then
haven't
wasn't
moved.
the
yet.
east
and
I made you
Okay,
roll.
let's go east, but the east and south should be blocked now.
Right now, the east and south are blocked. Yes, as you moved into the east square.
Right.
Now, Dex, where are you in all this?
I am one square behind
Still
them
right
the whole
behind
way.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see them exit out of this kind of like place, and you guys are moving very nervously and close, and kind of hugging and kind of kissing them a little bit.
Lots of kissing.
Now,
And you
can I
move
hear Dex at all?
Well, yeah, roll if you want, sure. I mean, you can be listening to everything going on.
Because that would be my paranoia of like, it would be like heightened where like every drip sounds like a monster like dropping saliva on me.
Which would be a perfect time to do. Well, it would have been perfect to do before this very move, but yeah, roll for it. Oh, let me see yours. Correct. That's right.
Yeah, so we should be this last dot.
Oh wait,
Where?
basically,
Right here.
you're a little wrong, but you're right.
I was gonna say I got
10.
I don't know
Your
if you
lower.
can see this. Let's see.
Let's see yours.
Which way am I going here?
Keep going. Now bring it up more.
That is correct. Is that what you had, Chris?
I'm off by 1 square, but we're
Yeah.
in roughly the same place.
That's what I'm saying. Roughly the same. So Michael's correct. So Michael, you or Liam, you give a listen, and you realize for a second that you have not been checking. You've kind of been going through the motions and kind of curious by this labyrinth. And for a second, as you step into the square, you go, "Huh, I should really give a quick listen." And as you listen, walls to the east and south of you, you hear. And as you kind of bring the torch to the north into the next square, what you see is 3 walls, another dead end, but just a pile of tiny little rats with black eyes, and standing behind them, a massive rat massive, not massive for you, almost 4 foot tall, looking at you with a tiny paper crown. And he attacks you.
Don't find so much joy in that.
It was just funny because like you just like right and then, but it's just like you checked right before you were like gonna step on them. So he's going to attack, and because why not? I'm gonna give him an attack of something.
Just a surprise, because we're like, wah!
Exactly, because you're basically like holding the torch in the darkness, and this rat fucking attacks you. And I will just have him attack. So he's not the nicest person in the world. So you're going to have to roll to beat a level 4.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is 12, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at maths. And if you want, you can always use your speed defense or whatever you'd like.
Sorry, which one are you talking to, Chris or myself? Because it was Sly in front.
Yes,
No,
but I
it
think he's
wasn't.
going to go for the light
It
first.
absolutely was Sly in front because my hand is. So I got to be basically essentially
I was
directly behind you.
I was walking backwards.
Ironically, no, I think Sly is in front, but I think the Rat King is going to come to you first because you basically kind of just sort of gave him a big shiny light.
Alrighty. I will definitely use my speed defense.
Okay,
To lower
so it's
it
going to lower
once.
by 1 difficulty, so you need a 9 or higher to beat him.
Fuck me.
Okay,
He says
so
to
he
the Rat
does.
King.
So the Rat King, with his tiny little tinsel like crown, does and leaps at you, and just slices at your chest in a moment of sheer like, oh my god! And he does 5 damage. Now this is interesting because we can just do a quick clarification. He says attack deals 5 points of damage plus 2 points of damage that ignores armor. Now I would take that as 7 points of damage. Is that correct?
Sounds like to me.
Okay. So you take 7 points of damage.
You rat bastard.
He literally is.
No, it's not necessarily 7, right? Well, yes. But an automatic 2 points, I guess?
I guess, yeah, 2 are always going to hit, and then if you have like super thick armor, then you could, I guess, get rid of the other 5. But 2 are going to hit, I suppose. Anyway, so that's.
I will take that.
Yeah, he's only going to get the attack of opportunity. The other rats, which are also foes, start swarming at your feet, but they won't attack this round. They're just kind of like, the king said, get him, get him! And
Cool.
at that point, Dex, actually, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Well, you can all roll initiative, but I'm going to give you one move for free because you're kind of behind. And actually, you were like sort of most aware. You wouldn't have seen what they would have seen, but you would have seen this unfold. And because you're in the darkness, you can actually use this to your advantage if you want.
I am going to make the rat levitate. I'm just the Rat King. I'm just going to make it float in the air.
Okay. Sure. Let's do it.
All right.
That's
So
gonna be so random for us.
it costs, I think it costs 1 XP, 1 or 2 XP. I'll look that up in a bit. Or sorry, not XP, 1 intellect. And I've got to try to beat a 12, so I'm going to use effort. Because I think it would look funny, so... That's...
Always going for the most important logic.
Exactly.
Look funny, so let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to use 1 tier of effort, so that's going to cost 2, and then another 2, so I'm down 4. But it's down 1 tier.
Okay, so it's now 9. 9 or above.
9, all right, baby. Natural 20.
Oh!
Slam him into the
Interesting.
ceiling.
Good. Major effect, too?
Yeah, is there anything you want to happen? Thinking... Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking that he just starts floating in the air and getting ready to bite and attack, and he's just kind of scrabbling in the air, and everything kind of just stops. And all of the other rats are just looking up like, and they don't know what to do.
I think you could be better than that. I would say because it's a natural 20.
Yeah.
I would say you levitate him, but because you're still sort of new to your powers, and because he's so light, you actually kind of throw him into the roof, and it does damage, but his head gets a little wedged, and he's incapacitated for a round. Like it'll be stunned basically.
Sweet.
But then he'll be raging coming back, and it will only be light damage. But I think basically it's a stun and light damage for 1 free turn.
Cool. That's fine with me, yeah. And what are the other rats doing?
Actually, you know what? Sorry, we'll say medium damage because he has armor, and I want it to be regular. So,
Okay.
and the other rats will be like, actually, no. You know what? They don't know because rats can't look up.
Yes, they can.
The age-old argument.
They stand up on their legs.
They
and
stand
look.
up on their hind legs and look up.
Well, what I mean to say is they don't have peripheral vision up here, so they don't actually know what happened to him just yet. But they're not going to be phased. But you're going to do.
Oh my
damage
God,
to
he's
him.
gone!
Yeah. Like, get him, boys! So there you go. So
He's
that's free.
abandoned us.
Let's roll initiative now.
All right.
Before we do that, we're going to find out how many rats you guys are fighting. You ready? Here we go. Let's find out. That's not bad. It's not bad.
Like normal sized rats?
Pretty much. They're. You guys are gonna chop through these boys. This is like. And they'll roll initiative as well, and they have a 4. So 5, 20. Oh no, you didn't roll yet. I'm assuming. So Justin and Mike, give us an initiative roll.
I did. I got a 4.
Okay, and 10. Okay, so you guys can go first.
So one of you guys. I say one of you guys go.
Well, we don't even know Dex is there. And
No.
we see this thing come at us and then levitate into the ceiling. And so we're like,
So I'm thinking, oh my god, this frickin' rat can fly.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's probably the most intimidating thing ever. As
So
it's
I'm
crashing
probably
in the
going to
wind.
turn tail and run.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will too.
Okay, so you literally do that, and as you do, you run past. Actually, no, you might, because he's in the darkness. You don't actually see him,
No.
and you're running. So roll to see if you dodge him. It's going to be easy, but I'm just going to say roll to see, and if it's a 3 or under, then you hit him. No, you're fine, Mike. I should have made it a standard, but I did say easy. So
That's
or
alright.
simple.
Because
so no,
because it's a speed defense, I guess, right?
Yeah, so you kind of see him, and you're like, oh, Dex! And Dex, they kind of run right at you as you're kind of crouching in the shadows, being like, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, gotcha.
There's a frickin' flying rat! It's
You can see his
ginormous!
face. Yeah. Look out, there's a flying rat that way. Run this way.
No. He's not flying. He's levitating. I can do this now. Remember?
Okay, a levitating rat. Run this way.
No. I'm making him levitate. Sly. Look.
Well, at this point now, he's actually wedged into the ceiling. That's why you have an extra round. So it's the perfect
is he
time. to
thrashing?
jump
Because
in.
I like to picture him thrashing.
Yeah, and he's like trying to push himself out, like.
Didn't he have a crown on his head though? Don't we need
It
that crown?
did. It's probably driving into his brain.
Probably.
I think
You guys
we
are
need that
monsters.
crown, Sly.
No. It was like a tin crown. It was like a. You can tell that the rat probably
Oh.
made it from like old pieces of gum wrapper that were discarded because he wanted to make himself feel special.
No.
Okay, well,
These guys
again,
are
ultimately,
rats.
I don't want to hurt them because they're just rats. And
What?
And
That one just trying to attack you.
That was the most.
no, but
Wonder
it's a
what
rat.
they
It
are.
doesn't know we came into its home.
If it was a human and it tried to lunge
You
at
can
you.
sympathize with anything,
A
can't you?
human has the ability to.
Okay, anyways, I keep running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still
Sly,
running.
you're afraid of a rat?
Hold on.
Come on.
Rather than
Well,
roll.
obviously, that like look what it did to me. That's like kingdoms and quests. They're just like you one
rather
shot
than
them.
rolling, Sly,
This is
rather
a
than
video
rolling,
game.
Sly, rather than rolling, I need you to give me a north, south, east, west breakdown, move by move, starting from your last known position with no errors. Go!
Was I in the rat area?
No, you were starting from your last known position, which
Okay,
was
so
one
I'm going to
below.
go west 1,
Correct.
south 1,
Correct.
west 1,
Correct.
south 1,
Correct.
south 1,
Correct.
east 1,
Correct.
east 1.
Correct. Okay, you're back at the hole. All right. Now you ran out of there pretty quick. What about Dex and Liam while you guys were kind of arguing?
I'm talking about video games and saving rats.
All right. Well, I'm looking at my quarry and thinking, wow, we could get it. But fine, I'm following you, Liam. I'm sick of being alone.
Quick, man, take my hand. Let's go find Sly. He's probably gone back to the trapdoor because that's all we know so far.
Gladly.
Okay, so you
skip.
yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So you head back there, and yeah, you run into Sly, who's just kind of like looking at you guys, like, guys, so silly. And you're back at the hole. Now,
Go south?
Now I'm gonna listen again. Are the rats chasing us?
yes, they are. They still sound pretty far behind you because the Rat King was kind of muted for one round, and the little rats aren't as fast as you guys. So far, this is basically what you have discovered. Plus a little more on the other side, but that's basically what you uncovered on that side. See, King plus rats 1d12. I'm fair.
He's playing this.
I planned it.
All right, so we only have south to go right now, don't we?
Because
Correct.
again, the problem with the little rats, are they like normal-sized rats, or are they baby big rats? Because if they're babies, we certainly can't hurt them, and maybe that big rat
They're
was just
that much
defending
easier
them.
to kill if they're babies.
Don't like.
You
I
really
used to
can't-
have
I can
pet
step on two
rats.
at once.
Okay, guys,
They're like
we are
incredibly
we are
intelligent
either
creatures.
fighting or we are running. We're not debating because every second we spend debating, we have to fight.
We are fleeing.
We are fleeing. Then let's flee. God
I
damn
go
it.
south one.
Okay, you go south one. The east is open and the south is open. Everything else is a wall, which would only be the west wall.
Okay, so then I continue south. No, let's go east.
I came from the east. I heard scurrying. That might
South
be a
it
good
is.
thing or a bad thing.
South it is.
South it is. And then you're all moving as a party at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so you move south. The east and the west are now walls.
Okay, let's go south again.
Now, south is a wall and east or west are open. Now, quick question. Is anybody on the Invictus stream following along? Because I want to see your maps at the end of this. All right.
Yeah.
South is a wall, east and west are open.
If you need to catch up, this is what I have so far, which has been wrong as of late.
It's pretty wrong.
It's been wrong right from the beginning, not as of late.
It's worked. It's worked. It's been working.
All right, so south is a wall, east and west is open.
You draw your maps how you want to draw them. I'll draw them my way. Topographical, aquatic. All right, so let's go west.
West, the north and south are walls, but the east and west are open.
So we can go west again.
And now the west and south are walls, but the north is open.
Ooh.
So that brings us back. We don't want to go that way.
But there's a wall we're going to hit, so
No,
we
yeah.
have to be on the outside. Let's go north one.
Okay.
Why don't we take a look, guys?
Oh, I don't think
Too
that's what
late.
you
I went
said.
north.
Sly, you step into the room, torch lit. Again, the torches are so dim, it seems like this magic is almost, or this labyrinth is almost filled with a dark magic that won't allow you to see past a certain numerical square number. Anyway, you step forward, and immediately you are greeted by a massive beast.
I step back
The
one.
creature that, no, we're not done descriptions. The creature that stands before you looks to your earthly mind almost like an ape. But the forearms are almost the size of a man. They're so massive, and they are sit on either side of it. Its elongated chin is sort of flabby and a little bit hairy, and its smooth, round head just has short bristles on it, and the entire body is black with black, wet, greasy fur.
It's
And
like Popeye ape.
Sort of. And as you kind of pause for a second, you look at it, and its expression kind of looks a little dumb. And it's got this big, kind of goofy-looking tooth sticking out of its lip, like mine. And it has a bobby pin holding kind of this greasy black hair into like a weird kind of monstrous ponytail. And it kind of just looks at you.
I lean
Hello.
over to Liam. Do you think it sees us?
Hello.
And you can see its eyes bouncing between you, and it goes, dink,
Dink?
dink,
Your name is Dink?
dink,
Hello, Dink. I'm Liam.
dink.
Maybe he's a bomb. It's ticking?
Dink, dink, dink.
Sorry to just. Is there an opening behind him? Can we see beyond him?
Yeah, you can look behind him. No, he's just sitting kind of in this weird little room.
Maybe give him one of your beers. See what happens. I've given mine away already to Pork.
We have beer.
Yeah, we got it from the.
Actually, Pork didn't take it.
That's true. I still have mine. I'll offer mine to him. I say, Dink, Dink, here's a drink.
And he looks down at it, and for a second, he kind of like... Actually, give me an intellectual. Or, you know what? Hey, you have wilderness something.
Yeah.
Wilderness... You have identifying plants and creatures. While this is not an Earth creature, the skill technically isn't of Earth either. So you can give me a roll on it, and I'll give you a bonus. Because this is technically a skill for Arden. 11?
Yep.
Okay. You didn't succeed exactly, but you can tell he kind of looks at it, You can tell that he is a simple creature of simple things, and that he has no real ill will. But at the same time, you get this overwhelming feeling that if you approach it or touch it or attack it, it will destroy you.
Okay.
It's a very bizarre feeling, almost like the radius of this creature's attack mode is much smaller than that of anything else. But outside of it, it wants you to engage it. It's looking for something, but whatever you just place in front of it, it's not really what it wants.
It's like coming in contact with a wild rhino or something. It's like
Sort of, yeah. But the difference is you can tell behind the Dink's sort of soft but also scary eyes that it longs for something.
So it doesn't react to the beer. Like I put it down, nothing.
Correct.
I take a coin out and I put it down and see what happens.
Again, you get the same feeling. It's looking for something, but not quite what you have. Or what
I'm
you
going
put
to do
down.
an intellect roll.
Sure.
And just see if just by the surroundings, like if there's anything that you might be interested, that he collects, or anything
Maybe it's
visible in the
Sci-fi.
room.
Yeah, so you can take a look around, and you see just little pockets of like squished gray fur, and you realize, yeah, they're rats that he just stomps and eats as they come by. Other than that, the creature doesn't really have it. It does, again. It has a bobby pin, and as you kind of regard it, you notice that the bobby pin looks sturdy and strong and almost ornate in its sort of appearance.
Well, nice to meet you, Dink. We will be on our way.
Is there a mirror in the room?
There's no mirror in the room.
Oh, he's vain. I like that.
Why would he go through the effort to put a bobby pin in his hair?
Dink,
I'm wondering where he would learn that, first of all.
dink,
Maybe
But also,
maybe he's vain and he wants to look at himself.
dink.
Do we have anything reflective on us? A blade, maybe?
Yeah, pull the blade on it. See
pull
what
the
happens.
blade out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't do it that way. You might put it down on the ground.
I know. No, I don't think it would be wide enough, and it's covered with rat blood.
Could make a puddle, and you could see his reflection.
Let's
Dink,
pee
you're
in front of
very-
him. Yeah.
Let's pee.
Let's just leave him be, because it's a mystery we can come back to if we escape these rats.
Dink.
Well, why don't we draw the rats this way then?
I don't want to be in the line of fire when Dink goes crazy. He seems like he's got some sort of crazy power to him.
Can we hear the rats coming?
You can continue. You can hear them in the labyrinth, but at this point, you can't quite hear where they're coming from anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I think we lost him. Well, does he respond at all to me saying, Dink, you're very beautiful?
No more than dink,
No, seriously, I mean it.
dink.
Yeah. I bet you don't hear that too often. I mean that in the best way possible. I don't hear it too often. But I don't
Thanks, you're
have a
very
bobby pin.
beautiful.
Dink. So he just continues to repeat dink.
Is he just looks at us this whole time?
He's just looking at you. I mean, his eyes are dancing between you. He kind of shifts every once in a while, kind of shifts on his feet a little bit, but
Do we have any ciphers on us that we can give him?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't think I have any.
Is it a bobby pin in his hair? Is it like legit a bobby pin, or is it another item that could be used as a bobby pin?
No, it looks like a bobby pin. Could be used for something else, but it's definitely a bobby pin.
Well-
Okay. Can I try playing the tambourine?
The dink lights up, and you can see him. Dink, 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 dink. And his massive arms start lifting, and he kind of makes a motion. Dink, dink. So, with his massive hand, he takes the tambourine from you, and holds it, and just starts whacking it. And as he does, his hair comes loose, and the bobby pin falls by your feet, and he just keeps dancing. Dink, 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 dink.
It's all yours, Liam.
I will pick it up and hand it back to him. Say, here, Dink, you drop this.
And he just keeps dancing. It doesn't seem like he really cares at this point. The tambourine's made him very happy.
Liam, it seems
That
like
is a fair trade. Let's back away slowly.
Well done.
Okay. How the hell did you do that?
That's actually Gabe. That was Gabe.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Gabe.
Good
He
job.
was
Gabe.
suggesting to Sly, but it was
Did Gabe know?
myself that yeah.
Gabe must have known.
It's Liam that's carrying the tambourine.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
Gabe didn't know. It sounded pretty legit. Anyway, no. So you leave the room and you now have a really sturdy, ornate-looking bobby pin. And as you look at it, it almost looks like it could be used for another purpose, but you don't know what just yet.
Okay, let's go back east.
All right. So you go back east, and again you have walls to the north and south of you.
Yep, east again. So we have a wall to the south of us.
Correct.
East again.
Correct. And now you have walls to the north and south of you.
East again.
Walls to the east and south of you.
North then.
You now have a wall to the west of you, and that's it.
So,
So is this opening up to a larger room then?
could be, or we can go north and east.
Yeah.
Let's go north again.
North is where I was, where I got lost.
Okay, so do you want to go east instead?
Well, it's nice and claustrophobic up there.
Well,
All
is
right,
there a
let's go-
corner on that northeast corner?
Yeah, good point.
There was something skittering. Maybe more rats, but I don't know.
Harlan, Mike's asking if there's a wall just around the corner. If we were to go east, for example, there would be a wall south?
Yes.
Okay.
And there would be a wall north.
Okay. So
Okay, so that's another corridor.
so there is
All
a
right.
corner on that northeast corner. Okay.
What do you guys propose, east or north?
We could go north to see what that skittering was. I mean, we already ran into rats. What are the odds we're going to run into more rats down in this dark, damp?
Rat-filled labyrinth.
Yeah.
Or we could go east and avoid the skittering.
Maybe we'll meet another Dink east. Although we're all fresh out of tambourines.
You hate when that happens.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole clap song, and maybe he'll take our hands as a decoration. Okay, let's go east again. So we're going to go east one, so now we have a north and
A wall
south.
to the north and to the south. Yeah.
Then east again.
You have a wall to the south and to the east.
Okay, north then.
You have a wall to the north and to the west.
East.
As you enter this square,
We never learn.
Can we put like a blanket statement that will always?
it's your fault, not mine.
I like it this way.
You enter this square, and a streak of light actually comes down and illuminates the scene before you. So much so that you kind of turn your torch behind you. And in front of you, you see large, rotted, but strong iron metal bars. And for a second, it looks to be a cell of sorts. And within, you see the remains of, the remains of what were once humans and creatures you don't quite recognize. Dripping water falls from the ceiling, and the roots of trees kind of turn around the stone. And for a second, you almost think to Sal, "Hi again, Mikey."
Yeah. Sorry, cat turned me off.
Yeah, he did. For a second, you believe the cell before you to be empty, and then you hear something. And from the back corner, behind a bed, a scraggly old man with a long beard and missing teeth just leans up from behind the bed. Little did the serpent know, amongst the rain and ruin of time grew only Paulridge 689. And he comes out kind of jaunting a little thing and dancing for you, almost like a monkey behind these, not a monkeys, behind these thick iron bars. And he runs right up to them, and he kind of goes, "Lost in a labyrinth, are you?"
What was it that he was saying?
What was it I was singing?
You were singing something before.
Echo in the Labyrinth. Do you want me to sing again?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Do you want to know?
Perhaps I will if you show. And he goes back to dancing.
What does he want us to show?
I don't know, he's just dancing in circles.
Well,
And he runs back to the bars.
Perhaps I'll tell you what I know if you'll give me a little show.
All right.
Okay.
No, not now, Liam.
what kind of show do you want to see?
And he jumps up on the bed, and you can see him. He's just wearing like a little sack, and his thin little legs, and his long white beard. He just keeps dancing.
The beans I'll keep so deep inside if what you show me a little pride.
And he jumps back down and runs up again. He says,
I'll gladly share a little word if you would make your pecker heard.
If we'll make our pickle heard, that's what I heard.
I'll tell the secrets that I know if you whip out what you have below.
and he runs back to the wall and kind of puts a hand on it.
This guy's creepy.
So I'll take my boot off and show him my foot.
And he goes, "Nah, nah." And he runs back to the bed and jumps back on it. No, no, no! And he runs back over.
I'll tell you all you need to know if you will show me what's below.
Well, it's not Liam's foot. We know that much.
Yeah, let's move up. I show him my ankle.
And he says, I'll gladly share a secret word if you would make your pecker heard.
It's pecker, not pickle.
It's starting to come through, but I think I should show him my knee again.
So you show him your knee, and he kind of goes, and he runs back up and he goes,
Show me your penis. Show me your penis.
This stream just got weird.
and he runs back up and he jumps on the bed and he goes,
Show me your penis. Show me your penis. Show me your penis.
So
Which
you
one of
guys,
us?
you want to go
Liam,
west?
show him your penis.
Yeah, Liam. Liam, stop crying.
Stop crying and show him
No,
your
don't
penis.
show him the
and he runs back up and he looks at you and he's like,
Yes, yes. I'll show you how to leave the maze if on your pecker I can gaze.
Really?
This is really important, Liam.
Liam.
It's vital that you
I
do
will-
this.
How long are his arms? I want to make sure I'm out of reach.
So you step back to a relative distance.
And hope he doesn't have like a frog tongue.
Or it's like beard goes in and grabs you.
And yeah, he stands back, or you stay back far enough, and he's kind of looking at you.
I'm doing it for you guys.
We all know it's
Okay,
cold in here, Liam. Don't worry.
So Liam, you stand up. You
It's a
drop
really
your drawers,
damp, dank, cold labyrinth.
You stand up. You drop your drawers. You show this terrible man your penis, and he goes, and he runs over to the bed, and you can just see he kind of jumps behind it.
Oh, was
Yes,
it worth
it is terrifying.
Yeah, you can probably pull those pants up now, man.
Yeah, I don't think that helped us at all. All right. Well,
Wait, he went behind the bed? He's behind the bed?
yeah.
Hey, what the hell?
We can all imagine what he's doing behind the bed, Justin.
Oh.
Let him finish.
Bill, what the
Let him
hell?
finish.
So
All right,
after
I'm calling back. Are you done? Can we talk about?
he kind of pops his head up and he says, and he kind of slumps back over, and he walks over.
So you weren't sure this was gonna be an 18
And he walks up to the bars. He pulls the bars towards him. All right, how can I help you? Are you looking to leave this place? Because I've been here for many years, and I'll tell you it's very difficult to leave. I wouldn't mind if you let me out, but it's your choice.
What's your name?
Reginald Fairbanks.
Of course it is.
Why are you imprisoned in the first place?
Well, if you must know, I was one of the knights requested by King Leopold to retrieve the crown. Fortunately, I did not succeed in my mission, and the Skeleton King threw me in here for many a year.
Why did you just ask to see our penis?
And he kind of looks at you. What a crass and disgusting request. I refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah, sly. Okay, well, how can you help us, Reginald?
I do know the way out of here. The problem is, there's no way for me to leave this cage. If you'd be so kind as to help me escape, I would be able to get you out of here.
Ah,
No.
He seems like a nice enough guy, Sly.
No. Do not remember a second ago.
Oh, wait, yeah, the penis thing.
That's right, the penis thing.
Well, okay, well,
And you know what they say, once you go Liam, you always want to see him. It's just...
tell you what, though, I mean, you know, you still have to hold up your end of the bargain. You tell us where we need to go, and then we can decide after whether or not we're going to release you, because we already gave you the show that you asked for.
I asked for no such thing, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I think we're dealing with someone else now.
Can we go away?
And as soon as we
I
let
just
him out,
feel
we'll be
like I
dealing
want
with
a
someone else.
shower.
You can leave, Liam.
I tell you what, I pull my bow out and I point it at him. I say, you really have one option here. You tell us, or I fill you full of arrows.
Well, you're not a gentleman. Can't believe such terrible behavior exists in people thrown into a labyrinth. What happened to the civilization I left behind? The people who were calm and collected and cool?
Can I shoot him in the
Just and virtuous?
Can I like graze him?
Sure, if you want.
I don't want to give him an arrow.
Okay.
Sly, he's not a bad guy.
No,
He's locked in that dungeon. He's been in there for a long time. And
How do you know someone else isn't going to come out of that dungeon once you let them out?
you know, it's quite possible, actually. Maybe he's got what they call, what is that, multi-personality thing?
Penis disorder?
Multi-personality. I resent that accusation. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's been me alone for all these years. Well, me and Billy, of course.
No.
Wait,
It's not an accusation. It's a compliment. Is what that is.
Can we just go? I'm ready to go now. Let's go find out what the other squealing was. I feel more comfortable with that.
Fair enough. Well, I appreciate the time. And he goes and he jumps behind the bed.
Reginald, if we wanted to let you out, how would we do it?
And up pops the head again.
Oh, that was lovely.
And he climbs out and walks over to you and runs up to the bars.
Lovely, lovely. I will show you the way out now if you wish.
I'd rather you told us.
Ah, telling? Telling is Reginald's job. I show.
It seems to me that Reginald wanted to show also.
I wanted to show. Reginald.
Do you know what Reginald said about you?
What did Reginald say about me?
He said you were a coward and a pervert.
Reginald doesn't know what he's talking about. He's terrible.
He said you would never help us because you're not man enough.
Oh. Oh. Mm. Oh.
But we want to help you. And we gave you
I
a
don't.
show.
I just want to go, guys.
Liam,
So roll a persuasion of some sorts.
intellect. Now, do I get a minus because I'm strange, or do I get a bonus?
I'm going to say this is one of those rare cases where it's going to give you a plus.
right.
Actually, no, I won't say it gives you a plus. It doesn't. No, you
It
know what?
doesn't.
It will give you a plus.
All right, sweet.
This guy is strange.
Yeah. Okay, so then it's minus. It's down one tier, and I'm using. No, I'm not going to use effort. I'm just going to go for it. 6. So standard.
No, unfortunately, no. So he kind of looks at you and says,
I can show you the way. Unless you want to play.
Why don't we just walk away? Because we seem to be doing okay.
And from his little sack, he pulls a slip of leather. It looks like sort of a folded leather parchment of some sort.
The map. The map.
And he takes a step back.
The map. The way out.
Justin, can you use your... Justin, grab it with your force field. Quick!
Oh, I'm going to... Can I use levitate on it?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to use levitate on the map.
Okay. Do you need to roll for levitate?
Yep.
Yes. So give us
It's
a roll.
going to be against... Yeah, I guess his skill.
The map's level. Well, we'll say his strength, which will be.
I would probably do his speed because it'd be a reaction of him trying to catch it.
Yeah, but he's so old. We'll say it's. Because standard's too easy. We'll say it's demanding.
Now, the only thing is, I can only make it float in the air. I can't actually make it move forward and backward yet.
How tall is the old guy?
I only got a 7 anyway.
I'm going to say that you do. Because you're trying to make it levitate, and because he's so old and frail, and he was literally holding it like this, you don't make it levitate, but you do pop it out of his fingertips, and for a second, it flutters down between the two of you, between the bars and between Billy/Reginald.
And Sly?
After you, Dex.
All right, I jump for it.
Okay, so you dive for it at the bars, as does the man in the cell. And you both make a roll for it. This is just going to be a straight roll. Let's see.
I'm doing
We
effort.
both roll 20. No time for effort. We both roll. We see who gets it.
Part of me feels
Alright.
that it's not a map, it's just like a piece of toilet
Hey,
paper.
come on. Oh,
You got
yes.
it too.
Yes.
So you jump in, you grab it from the midair, and you pull it out. Ha! And Billy goes,
No, no. Take me with you, please. Take me with you.
Well, guys, should we take him with us?
No.
Why
And I walk
not?
away.
Good job, Liam. You did well in there.
Hey,
I'm
whatever.
really impressed. No, Sly, you did great too, but you didn't have to show him your penis.
Oh,
mean,
I thought you were being sarcastic about it. Yeah.
no.
You did really well.
all right,
Really?
so you unfold the piece of paper, and you see a piece of paper with, like, it looks like poop is smudged on it.
Here, Sly, take a look at this. I think it's a map.
This map smells funny.
But nonetheless, it is a map. And
Is it
you
topographical? Because I can't read
It is
it.
only topographical, unfortunately. And you get to see the map.
Hey.
Oops.
Dink door.
Well,
Oops. That's what I was going for. So, without much problem, you can navigate to what you perceive to be the door, since you've covered most of the other place.
what is that part that looks like you've covered it up with the white?
I was moving the rats and stuff.
Okay. There we go.
And I also cut sections out because you guys are going too slow.
All right. Let's go to the door then.
Perfect. So without much problem, you navigate the map. Every once in a while, you do hear the sound of scuffling. Scuttling?
Scuttling.
But you eventually make it to a beautiful, ornate door.
All right, I observe the door.
Does it look as ornate as the bobby pin?
It does-ish.
It does-ish. Good call, Sly.
I see if it has like an opening that it would fit in. I ask Liam, do you mind if I see the bobby pin? I take it and I see if there's an opening.
So you take the bobby pin and you look around the ornate door trying to fit it in, but it doesn't really fit anywhere. But you can stick it in the keyhole.
Well, I don't want to wreck it. Is the door open?
You give it a try and it is locked. And you have nothing on you that can pick it. But you do feel that the bobby pin fits in it almost like it's meant to pick it.
I inspect the bobby pin. I do an intellect check to see if there's a risk that the bobby pin will break after using it.
You don't even have to because you can feel how sturdy the pin is. It feels like
It would work.
titanium. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I will insert it into the opening and see if I can open it up.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
That's
you
right.
would.
Dry.
So you stick the bobby pin in, and it actually works like a key, oddly enough. Like you're picking it, but it works. And the door clicks open and swings open.
I hand the key back to Liam. I said, "Thank you."
Well,
How'd
you're
you do that? That was amazing.
No, just gut instinct.
So you open the ancient wooden door to a dimly lit room. The stone walls are caked with centuries of moss. The ceiling hangs low as massive tree roots have long since broken through the stone ceiling, and they now kind of create a shadowy space above you. To the opposite wall, far from where you're walking in, you see a large stone staircase leading up, back to the surface. And in the center of the room, maybe 10 feet in front of you, you see a large warrior, all in plate armor. And in his hands, he holds a golden crown. And as he sees you in the opening door, he turns up. And his face is almost white, but it's human. And his eyes are dark. And he turns towards you, Sly, as you open the door, and he says, "Mighty warriors, thou hast come far. The King Berkshire has allowed this crown to be passed on to you. But before, each of you must pass the test of virtue." And as he says this, you hear a kind of echo through the labyrinth behind you.
Where's that music coming from?
And
The
he
labyrinth
says,
behind us.
"Pay no mind to the music. Enter the room and stand on the squares." And before you are three squares, or three symbols, I should say, a square, a circle, and a triangle.
Is that specifically the squares?
He said, "Stand on each of the three symbols before me."
I'll take the triangle.
Okay.
As I step to one, what are the other options? There's a triangle.
There's a triangle, square, and a circle.
Okay. I'm gonna step on the circle, and as I do, I pat Liam on the shoulder and I kind of whisper. I say, "I wonder if they use Spotify here." And I give him a wink, and then I step onto it.
And the man holding the crown kind of looks at you standing on the symbols and goes, And he brings the crown up and looks each of you in the eye. Who wishes to go first?
I don't think I can.
You alright, Liam?
I lost my virtue.
What do you mean you lost
You
your
didn't touch
virtue?
her, Liam. You're fine.
It's just a piece of flesh.
And you
Doesn't
hear the
mean
echo
anything.
from the labyrinth behind you. Just a piece of flesh!
It is just a piece of flesh. You know it.
Okay, at that point, then I will slowly, cautiously step onto the square.
And I see Dex's hand is up, and I say, I can go first.
And the
I guess my
the
hand
man
up
holding the
doesn't
crown
mean
kind of
anything.
looks at the three of you like, "This is a virtue test. Who is going firsteth?"
I will go first, Death.
So he turns to you, and a light from somewhere you don't see goes, "Du-du-du-du-du-dum," and it shines right down you, and
Who wants
immediately
to be a millionaire?
light. And the other two people on the square kind of look at you like, "What the fuck's going on?" And you feel hot under the lights. And he turns to you. "Sly Fitzgerald, you, entrusted to deliver an uncounted purse of gold, thou dost meet a poor beggar on the road. Dost thou deliver the gold as promised, or give the beggar a coin, knowing it would not be missed?"
I give him money from my own purse and deliver the purse.
"Interesting." And the light goes off you. "Ba-da-doo." And he turns to Dex. "Dr. Dex Dalton. "Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Thou hast been prohibited by thy absent lord from joining thy friends in a close-pitch battle? Dost thou refrain from battle, knowing that thy lord has good reason for such judgment, or dost thou join the fray, knowing thou canst deny it later?
Well, I don't like fighting, really. So, A.
Interesting. And the light comes off you. And he turns towards you, Liam. Liam, thy friend seeks admittance to thy spiritual order. Thou art asked to vouch for his purity of spirit, of which thou art unsure. Dost thou express thy doubt, or vouch for him in the hopes of his personal improvement?
That would depend on my experience with my friend. I would express that my opinion would be biased because he is my friend, and I have only my experiences with him to judge him upon.
And the light comes off you. Boom, 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 boom. I doeth what I must be told, but this... And he turns to the three of you. The lights now come up on all three. The finalist question for the three of you to answer when thou have decided on the proper answer. This oneth, is it for all the marbles? If thou hast the crown, and thou givest the crown to this young gentleman, and he points to you, Liam, who hath the crown now?
We can discuss this.
Yes.
Well, the obvious choice is that Liam would have the crown.
But I would only be holding it. It would not be my crown.
So basically, we're naming the king right now. You think that's what's going on?
Or is it because you are no longer Liam, you're the king? Maybe the king has the crown?
Oh, that's actually a good answer. The king. The king has the crown.
Is that thine final answer?
No, we're still thinking about it. Because think about it, he has the crown. Is he the king right now?
No, but it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Whoever has the crown.
No, listen to the question again. If thou hast the crown, and thou givest the crown to this young gentleman, who hath the crown now?
The king would have the crown.
Well, he has the right now. He has the crown.
When we first woke up, I know you guys woke up separately, but I remember in the dining hall where there was Leopold, the false king, there was a tapestry that said something about the king with the crown, and a king without a crown is no king. Do you guys remember that at all?
Yeah, we do.
No, I don't.
I remember it saying that a king without a crown is no king, or something like that.
Can we do an intellect roll to recall that?
Yes, sure.
Not that it will help us. We're just red herring ourselves.
It's probably literally Liam has the crown. But
no, you don't remember anything.
Donald Trump has the crown.
Well,
why don't we just go with? You want to go with Liam, or do you want to go with the king?
Let's. You know what? I like the king has the crown because
we have
because
the crown.
It kind of goes both ways. Whoever the king is, in name, has the crown because the crown's going to go to him eventually. Doesn't matter who he is. Just
it's
the title. Yeah, exactly. Or the king would be Liam, maybe, depending on his viewpoint, because blah 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 blah.
All right, that's fair enough. Let's do that one.
What's
thine answer?
The king hath the crown.
The king?
Giant warrior. That is
Thine
a final.
answer is wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Look, I'll give it to you again. If thine hast the crown, and thou givest the crown to you, young man, and he points at you, Sly, then who has the crown?
The young boy.
Sly. No, because he's
Sly.
pointed to you.
Yeah, me.
Sly.
Yes, correct. Yes, but if you haveth the crown, and you giveth the crown to Dr. Dex, then who haveth the crown?
I have the crown.
Correct. But if Dr. Dex giveth the crown to me, then who haveth the crown?
You do.
Incorrect. You have the crown. Fools. Look, it's very simple. If I have the crown and I give the crown to Liam and Liam gives the crown to Dex, who has the crown?
I have the crown.
I have the crown.
Right.
No, Dex has the crown. But if Dex has the crown and giveth me the crown, who has the crown?
I have the crown.
Correct, you have the crown. But if I have the crown and I give the crown to King Leopold, who has the crown?
I have the crown.
Correct, you have the crown.
Yeah.
What is your logic, young man?
I have the crown. Basically, it's I just say that I have the crown and it's right. That's my logic. The first person to speak after you ask that question
And
has
the knight's
crown.
white face goes red. Fine. But there's one more final question. This is the last question. If you try to fail and you succeed, which have you done?
You failed to
Succeeded.
succeed.
You failed to succeed.
No, you you failed to fail.
I failed to fail. Yeah, I like that. Sure, failed to fail.
Okay, one more question. Now, listen. This is for all the marbles, and you can see him kind of like sweating a little bit, and he's trying to think. How long is a piece of string?
Its entire length.
Yeah. Damn. Shit. And he turns and he runs up the stairs.
All right.
Does he leave the crown there?
No, he's just running.
All right. Let's try and get him.
We chase him.
Okay, so you start chasing after him, and as you step
whoa.
off this...
They chase him. I want to quickly look around the room.
Okay, so you take a look around the room, and it seems empty. It seems like it's been completely stripped of everything.
Oh.
This whole seems very staged, almost like some weird ceremony was meant to take place here many, many years ago, but nothing about it seems authentic.
You think he's running to the king, Sly?
I'm already gone. I'm running.
So you're chasing after him, and while he is massive, he's really slow, and he's like 4 steps up, and he's massively out
He's
of shape.
old.
You can
Yeah.
tell. Yeah, and he's just terribly out of shape. He's like, and by the time you're like walking, you kind of just walk up next to him, and he's like looking at you, and he's continually walking as either of you on either side of him.
So we keep walking with him. We're like, "Where are you going?"
No, you're not worthy.
We know that.
Is the good king. No,
It's not for us.
he's a good king.
Well, he sent us to get it for you.
No,
For him.
no.
I just grab the crown and take it from him.
Oh! And he doesn't even really have any resistance. You very easily kind of just take it from his hands, and he kind of just stops walking. Oh!
You did well. And I hand him my beer and I say, "Congratulations."
It's my only job to protect the crown for Berkshire.
And we are bringing it to Berkshire.
And when a door closes, a window opens. You think about it. Your resume.
Windows
Has
are always
one-
open in this kingdom. There's no such thing as what you speak of.
But, you have a 100% success rate. That's a wicked thing to put on your resume.
What do you mean?
Well, going forward, your next job, people can believe you'll do a good job.
But I didn't.
Sure you did. How
And
long have
with
you
a
been here?
clanking of his armor, he kind of sits down and he sits on the steps.
And I sit down beside him.
I failed him.
Yes, but in doing so, you succeeded.
Wait, so if you try to fail and succeed, it's not a failure?
Yes.
Mm.
Because the king sent us here to get his crown.
And he kind of sits up. True.
So we are... So you were amazing.
Really good. The best I've ever
3
seen.
cheers for this valiant knight. Hip hip!
Yeah.
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hooray.
Huzzah!
Yeah, good. It's all right.
Well,
I come from a whole kingdom of quests, and you by far are the most worthy I've ever come across.
You're the
Yeah.
questiest.
Oh my
The
goodness.
questiest.
Those questions you asked? Damn near
Yeah.
impossible.
they're tough, eh?
Well, really tough.
Yeah.
Really tough.
My wife thought of them.
Well, you're a lucky man.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Oh, what millennia is it? 2,000 years.
Well, you know what? You can go home to her and say, I did it. I was
Yeah.
successful.
In fact, I'm going to give you this trophy, and I hold out the broken condom, dried out condom.
Why do you have a broken condom?
Well, it's the horn.
The horn.
Oh,
the horn
right.
of Berkshire.
And he looks at it. Yeah.
This is a symbol of great triumph.
Okay.
I want you to have it.
And he kind of
Put it up on
stands
the
up.
mantelpiece.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. And he kind of just holds it close like a baby almost, and he kind of walks up the stairs.
So should we be following him?
the crown!
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So you head
was
upstairs.
easy.
You head upstairs, and a few empty doors, and some like skeletons who are like on break, and they're just like, "Hey, what's up?" And you walk past, and you go into, and the king is sitting back on his crown, kind of just sitting there, looking at the trap door.
Does he not have a crown anymore?
No,
That's the crown that we have.
correct.
Well, thank you. We'll be on our way then.
And he turns to you, like, suppose, "Oh, you got it! Oh, that's so nice." And he kind of stands up and shambles over to you and says, "Look, I really meant what I said. I want you to bring this to whoever you think is most worthy. Just please promise me it's not going back to King Leopold."
We'll find someone else for it. Someone that
He
fits
is
it.
an absolute cock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just absolutely terrible to have to have him follow me, to be honest. It's absolutely embarrassing, because here I did this great job, and he comes in and does a shit job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll make sure. What are you going to do with your retirement?
I haven't thought about it, really. I suppose I go to the beach a bit. I heard the harpies are all dead now, so that's quite nice. I might head over to Daventry, see what that's all about. I've heard good things. But other than that, I might just, die and end it there. Had a good run, not too bad.
Rest well. You were a worthy king.
Well, thank you. That's nice to say. I got to say, my end of the world, lot of emotional problems. I find a lot of my staff are severely depressed, and I think a lot of people overlook that. The bad guys, they're not sad, they're okay. But realistically, we get defeated more times than anything else, and it's really, really draining. Imagine having to pick up somebody after every battle. I mean, literally, because they are, of course, skeletons. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to sit on my throne and maybe die here. I don't know. But,
You're going to what on your throne?
Well, maybe die. I don't know. Maybe I'll just end,
Well,
It's like
Is there anything else we can do for you?
Let me think. The gutters are done. I've done
Again,
backyard.
bring a letter to your daughter?
Well, now that's something I didn't think about. Yes, that would be lovely. If you could mow the lawn and bring a letter, those would be the two things that I would most like to have done. And you know what? I've had a letter for about 2,000 years. You know, so let me think real quick. Yes, and he takes a small slip of paper out of his jacket and says, "Bring this to Violet. She's, I hope she's doing well. I know she didn't want to be king, and I don't blame her." And he hands it to you.
Thank you.
And by the
Again,
way,
I get down on one knee.
Oh,
It's
please.
been an honor, an absolute honor serving you, sir.
Come, yeah. Come. That's enough.
by the way, there's a knight that's in the dungeon in your trapdoor down there. He seems to be out of sorts, so if, maybe before you die, you could let him out.
The knight.
He
Reginald?
asked to see his...
Oh, Reginald! Reginald!
Yeah.
Reginald's my brother. He just goes down there when he's bored. He's fucking around.
I look at Liam.
Did he make you show his penis? He's straight as the day is long. He's just fucking with you. He's a great guy, though. Really like checking out there. Anyway, good luck. Bring the letter to Violet. Tell her I'm here if she needs me. I'll be around for another year, so I don't really know what you're doing. And, jolly good and all that. Make sure you pick a good king and let me know what happens.
All right, thank you very much.
On his throne.
All right, so let's go back. Let's go back the way we came.
Oh, by the way, by the front door, put some ciphers there for you if you wouldn't mind. You take them. I don't need them. And as you're walking out, there's like 3 objects just sitting on a stone pedestal by the door.
Beauty. All right.
In a very unofficial manner. They're just kind of thrown there. One feels like it was like almost about to fall off.
All right. Well, I reach down and grab one.
Me too.
Just
Perfect. So, Justin, you grab something that looks like a knob. Sly, you grab something that looks like a marble. And when Liam's back, he'll be grabbing something that's called the Trip of Rather Improbable something. I can't see it because it's not over. Who got accepted to call?
It was too slow.
The knob. Ooh! What happens when a baby's on the stream?
Oh no! Everybody drink television. Hi, baby.
Doesn't like you.
Who's that, Mikey?
This is Darwin.
Hi, Darwin.
Yeah, he doesn't talk much yet.
Does he believe
We're
in
just
it?
trying to get him to burp, apparently.
Oh, I thought you were going to try to get him to roleplay.
Yeah.
He might.
Whoa!
He's role-playing as a potato. He's doing it magnificently.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys step out of the graveyard, and you see all the skeletons, like, really kind of, they look at you a bit pissed off, because they're digging back the graves that they had to open, and they're like, oh.
You didn't have to wake up.
So,
You didn't have to.
well, it's our job, like, and he continues digging. So, yeah, you leave the graveyard, you start heading through the woods, you come across the graves where the 3 billy goats gruff were, and the bridge is now empty. Must not be his time of day. His time of the day. So you cross it with ease, and what's the plan?
Are we in agreement that the crown should go to Pork?
Yeah, I think so.
Because in my experience, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he seems to know a lot about the land, and he's got a good wife who knows how to make tea, which is perfect criteria for a queen. And
My only worry is is he capable of leading if there will be turmoil because of this?
you know what? I think that he'll do a better job than Leopold.
And the other thing that I worry about
Will
is
he,
the fact
will he
that
have the backing?
will he have the power to send us home?
He seemed to know a lot about this place. Anyway,
Well, let's ask him.
good idea. Let's go.
Okay.
Back to Porks.
So you head to Porks and you explain to him that with your newfound crown, you wish to give it to him. and he is overwhelmed with this act. I can think of the word. He's overwhelmed, and for over tea, he denies it. He says no, he's not right for it. But eventually, you coax out of him, what he plans to do, and you realize he would be a fantastic king, and he realizes that he would be a fantastic king. And both him and Marnie accompany you back to the castle, rather than do the whole thing, because we know Pork would say yes. It's Pork. Why wouldn't he? Parker leading behind him. So the three of you knock on the castle door as it rings loudly, and the large door swings open, and you see the massive two-headed ogre, Birkin Barn, look down at you. Oh, hello. You're back. You didn't die. Were you there this whole time? Were you waiting for us to open the door? Did he knock? Did I not hear the knock?
I step away and show him Pork with the crown on.
Oh. Well, that's an unlikely circumstance. And Burke and Barn both turn to each other. Well, what do you think? Well, he's not the king. But he is the king. He's got the crown. But the king doesn't need to wear a crown. Yes, he does. That's what everyone keeps saying. So
It's what's written on the wall.
So he's the king.
Written on your tapestry.
So both Burke and Barn look down at little Pork and they bow. What is the king's name? And Pork looks up and says, well, my name's Pork. And they go, Pork? Pork? And they turn around and say, announcing King Pork. And as he steps aside, you see the sweeping steps leading up to the throne. You see the princess standing next to him, guards on either side, and all the people still sitting around chewing bubble gum while people are kind of playing craps in the alley. And everyone just kind of stops for a second, looking at each other, looking at the ogre, looking at the King Leopold, and then looking at the door. And they kind of all slowly stand up. And King Leopold, who is actually sleeping, the princess kind of nudges him, and he goes, What? And he stands up on his throne, this little man. He says,
Who dare says this? What is this? What is this nonsense? I am the king.
And the ogre kind of steps into the center of the table. No, you're not the king anymore. He's the king. And in riding in on Parker comes Pork, a little humbled, a little shy. He kind of runs in and says, Aye. And King Leopold just looks down with flames behind his eyes at the three of you. What? What? And even the princess looks a little shocked.
Well, sorry, Darwin. Didn't mean to scare you there, buddy, by talking. I will again get down on one knee and hand the princess the letter and
Not
say...
that princess. I say, stop that. It's not for her.
It was, wasn't it?
No.
It's for the different princess. We talked about it earlier.
What?
It's not that princess.
I'm really confused. Then I will stand up and say, ignore that.
I was confused earlier too.
But know that King Pork is here as the true heir, as requested by King Berkshire on our quest.
Someone shut that baby up in the back.
Yeah, the baby in the crowd.
King Leopold sounds like right now.
All
because
hail
he knows as much.
Pork. Long live the king. I yell it out.
Yeah, long live him.
Okay.
Is it like awkwardly silent?
No, so everyone's kind of looking around
yeah.
each other, and they're kind of like, everyone's kind of looking for a cue, and the ogre's like, long live King Pork, long live, and everyone's kind of looking around like, yeah, okay, long live King Pork, because they don't really give a shit. They kind of think everything's going to stay the same, and basically it's just a height difference. So King Leopold is freaking out. He's pulling out what little hair he has left on the side of his head as he's screaming and throwing it down, and he jumps down from the throne and basically just kind of starts stomping his fists on the ground and starts crying and crying and crying and crying. And as Liam, Sly, and Dex have now laid the crown upon the new king's head, the crowd cheered madly. excited at the prosperous new future before them, the kingdom once again whole. While their hearts yearned for home, each adventurer found new passion for their newfound home. A few even eventually settled down and remarried. Dex met Clara, a half-ogre druid from Daventry who enjoyed sadism. Liam married Porrick's daughter, Princess P, and Sly moved into the wilderness and went insane. Over time, growing old and apart, they each passed away, surrounded by friends and family in the beautiful kingdom of Daventry, unaware of the knowledge that had they simply asked Birkenbarn all those years ago about the Violet Witch, they may have had a chance to return home. But they did not. Instead, they called out for King Porrick, surrounded by their new friends and family.
Wait. Can't we just ask? It's too late. We can't go back and ask.
The
I feel like that voice
narrator
was narrating too soon.
No,
Yeah,
because that's
narrator.
Wait.
No.
No, we don't want to live here.
And ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Strange. Thank you so much.
No,
Narrator, hey, narrator, you're getting ahead of yourself now.
No.
we're still active. We can still.
Okay.
We're
Well,
not pausing. We're not sailing.
but it
into
says
sunset.
here, I'm reading the script, and it says
well-
that's where it ends.
Well, clearly we're still alive.
And I don't want to
married-
live here. I don't want to go crazy in the woods.
You marry a sadistic ogre.
Nope.
Look, I have
I don't.
freedom of action, and I punch Dex in the shoulder, and I say, "See, I can do as I will."
Well, that I can rewrite that. Let me grab a pen.
Sorry, Dex. I needed to prove a point.
Hold on, no, I have a pen somewhere.
Yeah, and also.
Well,
right
if you can rewrite that, then you have the ability to rewrite the whole thing.
So how about you write it this way?
No, wait.
Dex the handsome,
Yeah.
Liam the
Oh,
brave,
thank you, Sly.
and Sly the well-endowed
Oh.
Well, yeah.
find their way back home and live happily with their families or video
No,
games.
no.
And Liam comes.
I cannot rewrite the thing. If you want to go off script, you can do it yourself. But this is where it ends, and that's all I can do.
So, Sly turns to Liam and says to him, in his deepest, manliest voice,
Liam,
Yes, Sly.
I believe if we ask Burke and Barnes over there, is that right? The two-headed
is
ogre,
correct.
he knows a way to bring us back to our homeworld.
And so, Sly, Dex, and Liam
Head up
Turn.
with the
and bow
announcer
to the
voice.
narrator's voice and head towards the ogre with a new quest. Only
Very
steps away.
So you step over to the ogre, Birkenbarn, who's again still kind of nodding towards Porrick, and he says, "That new king is tinier than the last one."
but it's not the size that counts.
Well, that would be up for debate. Have
Well,
you
you
ever
could
met King Knight Richard? I showed him my willy once. Reginald, I should say.
Sometimes it matters, but not always.
You
So, we heard something about a witch. There's a witch somewhere. Do you know of any witches around here?
a witch.
Yeah.
Oh, the Violet Witch.
The Violet Witch. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a different one, the Violet Witch. Why do you want to speak with her?
We want to go somewhere. We want to travel, and we heard that we could travel by speaking to this witch. She's got lots of magic at her disposal. Am I wrong?
She is very powerful. And they turn to each other. Should we bring them to the Violet Witch? She is not dangerous.
Mm-mm.
Perhaps, but well, I suppose even if she was, they could handle themselves. They returned from the Dark Wood. All right, but we have to do it quick. We're meeting Tim for lunch. Tim? Tim the Tower! You said you'd read his latest manuscript. Oh, right. The last one was brilliant. Yeah, it was.
All right, you're ready to go. Birkenbarn.
And Birkenbarn nods to the king. Porrick looks at the three of you and says, "You boys off home now?"
King Porrick, we are. And we thank you and hope that you do a good job, as we know you will, in your new position.
And he steps down from Parker and he takes off his crown. And he bows his little head to you and he says, "Gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for this kingdom and for me and my wife. I promise to do you proud and make sure that this kingdom lasts for as long as your kindness has made it. And he puts the crown back on his head. He grabs Parker, strokes him. He nods to the three of you, and he walks up to take a seat on the throne as the three of you walk out of the castle. Outside, the ogre waits for you. Come now, it's getting dark. Violet Witch will want to speak with you before the horn swallows come. Though I suppose now that the king is gone and the crown is back, the horn swallows will be no problem. Interesting. He throws a fistful of coins into the well, and he steps it onto the road and begins walking down the road. Come, come.
And we follow him.
So, it's actually not that far. Maybe a half an hour, 20-minute walk, you come to a thicket of bushes, and the actual forest itself feels not darker but muddier, almost marshy, as you enter a wet patch of the forest. And Burke and Barn kind of stop on the edge of it, and they motion for you to continue. And he says, "The Violet Witch is in there, but be wary, she's a strange one. But I suppose no stranger than us. I suppose no stranger than me." And he nods to you and says, "Good luck," and pats you on the back. And as he pats you on the back, Sly, you fall forward and stick in the mud. You stick in the mud?
Ah.
Come on, Sly. Quit messing around.
I get up and rub the mud off my face and shake my hands at Dex.
And little bits of mud flick on you, Dex.
So uncalled for.
I said, let's go see this witch. I want to go home. I'm fed up with this.
So, you march into the marsh, and again, there's a winding path that leads you through a thicket of bushes, and as the trees become more looming and closed in and fog sets in, it feels very much like you're entering a living creature almost. The trees become thick with large spikes like rose thorns, and as you enter deeper into the woods, you see a small cottage, twisted, almost built within the trunk of a massive spiky tree, and owls are hooting. And you can see a light on through the carved window in the front of the house.
Have we knocked yet, Sly?
Last time we came across a witch's house, it didn't work out so well for me.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. Liam, why don't you knock? I think you should knock, Liam.
Definitely didn't.
Yeah.
He knocks.
Oh, I didn't hear that. So, you knock, and the door opens. And inside you see an older woman in a dark purple gown. And her eyes are purple. And she has a very sharp face with pale white skin and gray curls and sharp eyebrows. And she looks at you with a perplexed look, but not of fear, inquisitive. And she kind of looks you up and down and says, "How can I help you?"
I look to Sly, and I'm a little nervous now, all of a sudden.
We have been brought to this world against our will, and we'd very much like it, miss, if we can return home.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at you. Interesting. Interesting. Come inside. And she welcomes you inside, and in her home, it's again carved into the trunk of this massive tree, and it looks homely and comfortable and relatively warm and inviting, and there's a crackling fire and a large couch, and she motions for the three of you to sit down as she shuts the door, kind of looking behind you. And Dex looks concerned.
I stand. I stay standing.
Is it safe to have a fire in a tree?
And she says, "The wood of this tree is over 6,000 years old," and she taps it, and it's almost like stone. This is beyond solidified, whatever the word is. It's old. Like stone now.
I gotta say, Miss, this entire world We've spent a few days here now, and I gotta say, you are the only person. Just being around you feels different than being around every other person that we've met here. Don't you think, Sly?
And
It seems as if she also is not from this world, or is the first person who knows it's not the real thing.
she looks at you each in the eye, and she says, I have the spark as well.
Oh. Oh, okay.
And she says, tell me exactly what happened. You say you woke up here?
We woke up in King Leopold's chambers, or no, in some, I don't know, right by his dining room, the kitchen, and we didn't know how we got here. Our last memories aren't from this world.
And she shakes her head. It's cracks. I know why. You're not recursors, are you?
I don't even know what that is.
And she says, sit down for a moment.
I had to show a man my penis!
Oh. She says, sweetheart, we all do. And she says, sit down for a moment. This world is not your own. Where do you come from?
A little place called Earth.
And she kind of looks wide-eyed. Oh, well, that is interesting. From Earth. Well, it would make sense if Krax brought you here.
Krax? Is this who is this Krax fella?
Are we on drugs?
Drifter. No. Listen, this world that you're in right now is not real. It is what we call a translation, a recursion, to be more specific. This recursion is a world that exists as a creation of someone else's imagination. Your Earth is the grounded plane, so to speak. Your Earth is where all of these recursions came from, to an extent, whether it be through creation of fictional characters or fictional universes. These were created as a subset of Earth. All the creatures that exist here are, for the most part, complacent with understanding that this is their entire world and there's nothing beyond these walls. Some of us, like myself with the spark, understand that we are merely creations of Earth. The interesting thing here is that you are trying to translate, in a sense, back up to Earth. But you are in your human form. And again, she looks you up and down.
I nod as if I know what she's talking about, but secretly I don't.
I shake my head at Dex as if he's being typical Dex.
And she turns around and starts and puts a pot on the fireplace. Look, I am going to explain this to you as simply as I can. But without getting too much in depth, I believe that a drifter must have sold you to the king of this land, but for whatever reason I cannot fathom, he did not wipe your memories. And that is why you feel lost. Anywhere else you would have felt complacent in this world. You would have done whatever needs to be done. You would have lived here and died here. But you remember Earth. See, recursions exist separately. None of us can go between them, and if we do, it's translating. We need to adapt a different form. For instance, if I want to leave this and go to another one, my body stays here. Well, more importantly, it disappears, but I enter a new form of myself. I'm still me, but I enter a new form in this other world. But see, that's not what happened with you. Your original Earth forms came here. And Krax is very clever. Certain people, drifters, they can travel between recursions without needing to translate. They can open inapposite portals and just step through. But Krax used his drifter ability to his advantage, and what I've heard tell of him doing is going to worlds after people have died, taking them through his portal, and sold them to recursions as cheap slave labor. You're essentially taking the discarded remains of one world and using them in recursion. But I've never heard of one of these remembering.
Okay,
Is there a way for us to get back, though? That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Well, and she thinks for a minute. I mean, in theory, yes, but there's only one way two ways I can think of. Look, again, like I say, translating, trying to get from this world to another means you have to disband your body. For you to translate back up to Earth, it doesn't work like that because your original is not there. You translate up to Earth, poof, you disappear. But this drifter cracks.
What if we drift? What if we become drifters?
Drifters are very rare, near impossible. They're millennia old. And there's only 2 I've ever even heard of.
Well, Krax seems to have done this to us once. Can he do it to us again?
Well, that would be your first option. If you could find Krax, if you could track him and convince him to bring you back to Earth.
But if we go to Earth, you say that we're just going to disappear.
Only if we translate, Dex.
Only if you try to translate there. But
because there's no body for us to go back to.
Exactly. But if you get him to open an Epizit portal for you, he can transfer you through without any issue. That would be the one way, but that would be the safest way.
Is there a way to track him?
And she thinks for a minute. She says, "Boys, you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. That's like asking to pinpoint a star in the sky and tell me what the face of the creature on it looks like. It's near impossible."
So then you tell us the safest way is not an option. What is the other option?
Well, hold on, though. It's not impossible, though. And you can tell she thinks for a moment. And as the kettle begins to whistle, she takes it off and she pours you each a cup of tea. How did you find me? And she hands it in front of you.
The 2-headed ogre led us to you.
Ah, interesting.
And actually, we've been hearing this voice in our head, kind of, at the same time as all of this has been happening. And he kind of got ahead of himself, started spewing out a future that didn't actually happen, and then we were able to kind of rewrite that, if that makes sense.
It was like the narrator said exactly what was meant to be said at the time it was meant to be said. He forgets nothing that was said and understands.
That's the voice.
And she kind of looks around.
It's kind of a David Attenborough kind of pompous.
I'm not sure who that is, but listen. Your only option is to either find the original drifter Krax, or you can risk and try to find another drifter. But the other one I've even heard of is even more rare. I don't think I've ever known anyone that has ever seen or met him.
Well, hold on. You say that King Leopold was probably dealing with this drifter.
Krax, yes.
Krax. Well, maybe we could get Krax's info from Leopold.
The issue isn't the information. Krax makes rounds. He stops by. The last time he bought slaves, to my knowledge, was 7 years ago. But again, this was only when Krax made the run, and even then, his daughter disapproved of his actions completely, and he promised never to do it again.
Listen, I don't have time for this. I have a wife back home who's about to have a baby, and I need to be there.
And she goes into the kitchen and comes out. There is another way. You can translate to different worlds, different recursions. You need to, with a certain... And she picks up a small little object, like this. If you have an object from the world you're trying to recurse to, you can translate, or translate to, you can translate there. Again, this wouldn't work to go back home to Earth because you disappear. But there might be another recursion that could help you find Krax. All of these worlds are created on the ideas and imaginations of the people of Earth. Some of them unknowingly break the recursion themselves. And she thinks for a moment. Yeah. If you could get...
We saw a creature in the dungeon that didn't seem to be of this world, and I described it to her. Was this something you're familiar with?
Dink?
Yeah.
Dink?
Which?
And I show her the bobby pin.
Dink?
Yeah.
Ah. No, the Dink is not of this world. Though I would doubt that traveling to his world would be of any benefit to you. However, if you could travel to a world more advanced, a world that broke the rules of the recursion, you could exploit that to track cracks. I've traveled. I am a recursor. I am of this world, but I was given at an early age by another drifter. And I've traveled many worlds. And she pulls out a massive book, and I've listed them. And I think there is one that might help you.
I turned to Sly, and has she offered us tea yet?
Yeah, she's poured it. It's sitting in a glass in front of you.
Oh, okay. And I gesture at his tea glass, and I'm like, You gonna drink that?
I look at him and I drink some. Questioningly, like, why not?
I drink some too.
I'm just waiting for you to go first. Well, if you drink it, I can drink it. And she pulls out and she looks at me and she says, yes. There is a world I traveled to, a very bizarre world that had in it a supercomputer, a computer that was designed to answer any question possible.
Is it just me, or is
unfortunately,
Harlan glitching? Is this part of the strange? Is it just me?
Maybe it is.
Seems like he keeps breaking up.
Is it better now?
Mm-hmm.
Better now?
Yeah.
Okay. And she says, there is a world, a bizarre world, that they designed a computer to answer most questions. Just a small little computer, but it broke the rules of the recursion unknowingly to the people in the recursion. It could answer any question, even if that exists outside of that recursion. I can transport you there, and you can ask it the question, and at least you know where cracks might be.
Well, it's a start, and if that's the best we can do, I say we do it now.
All right. And she says, come with me. And she exits the room and enters a back room. And the back room is essentially empty, with a large wall of the tree trunk. And she turns to the three of you and says, this is a dangerous world. You will not be yourselves. You will still have your minds and bodies, but you will be looking and thinking and feeling differently than you are. But I cannot open it for long. If you need to get back, and she takes a small trinket from the table, and she says, it's a small piece of wood, looks like a coaster. And she says, there's your trinket. And she hands it to you, and she says, this will travel with you. If you use it to get back, you will be safe. But don't stay there too long, or it will fall apart, and you won't be able to get back. Find the supercomputer, ask it the question you need to know the answer to, and come back.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Should we decide on the question before we come back? Before we go through?
Before we talk to the supercomputer, probably. Yeah. What is the question?
My question would be, how do we get home? Or where's Karak?
Is there a rush for us to get there, to the supercomputer? Do we have time to wait? Because I could really use a full night rest. I'm exhausted.
You could wait if you wanted to. Get the full sleep.
I'm pretty exhausted too, but I am eager to get home.
I'm good.
Let's rest, because there's no sense dying on our journey, and hopefully we'll get home safe if we do. Last time I didn't rest, it didn't work out for me anyways.
So you take a rest. Actually, you know what? I think if you translate, I think your points go back up.
Well, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So let's say that. I'm not sure, but I think that would be the case, because I don't know how you'd still have damage or whatever, right? Like, it'd be weird.
It's a new body, right? So.
Yeah. Okay, so she looks at you and says, I'll open the translation. The three of you will disappear from this room. To get back, you need to focus on the element I'm giving you, this coaster. And that should pull you back to this world. Visualize in your head this room, and you'll come right back here. Once you have the information, we can find a way to get you to Cracks as fast as possible. At the very least, you'll be on his tail.
What if we visualize another room?
That would be very bad, especially if it wasn't a clear picture. You might come in halfway through a wall.
Dex, you're not going to do that.
Well, sometimes my brain kind of just, goes off.
Dex,
and,
you're
I'm
not
thinking
gonna-
about a room, and then all of a sudden, it's
Look
just
at this room and remember it, Dex. Just remember the pot of coffee and remember something else. I'll remember the rest of it.
Yeah, okay, I'll remember everything, even the beautiful lady standing in the corner. Okay, ready, let's go.
Beautiful.
Wait, there isn't a beautiful lady standing in the... Oh, no, okay, that's my imagination already. Sorry, guys, okay, I'll do my best. I will work.
You insulted Violet.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. There's a plethora
She walks
of
to the door and
beautiful ladies
says, "Good luck, gentlemen, and I wish you Godspeed." And she shuts the door. And after a second, you're standing there being like, what the hell are we supposed to do? And then this light starts coming up from the floor around you and twisting. And it's almost like you're in sort of a vacuum, and flashing before your eyes, you feel lighter than air for a moment, as if your innards are rising from the ground, and every vessel, blood vessel in your body begins to tingle and pop, but not in a painful way. Your eyes just kind of are overcome by white, and in a flash, you feel like nothing. You feel like no weight. You feel no pain, no anger, no anguish. You feel nothing. And then you feel a bit cold. And as you open your eyes, you see a man standing in front of what looks to be a PowerPoint presentation. With projected overheads raising 2% by the end of this fiscal quarter, we're sitting happy on the wall. We want to make sure that we raise the financial costs that we need at this point, but we want to make sure to maintain that overhead because it's going to be a significant benefit to us. And as the three of you kind of look around, you're sitting, Dex, you're sitting on the far side of the table across from Sly, and Liam, you're sitting in the chair next to Sly. And you're sitting at a very large boardroom table in an office. Everyone is wearing a tie, and this gentleman is speaking in a very dry voice. And everyone at the table is wearing a tie, and the man sitting at the far end of the table is sitting in a huge leatherback chair with his fingertips together, looking intently at the presentation. And he even notices you guys looking around a little bit, and his eyes dart towards you.
Do we look like
Fisher?
us?
You look down at your hands, and no, your Pikmin is a little different. You can't see your faces, but for some reason, Dex, Sly, and Liam, you recognize each other. You're not the same, but you can feel a connection to each other. That something is bizarre. Also, you're the only guys kind of looking around. But no, you don't look like yourselves. However, you are human still. So all your stats stay the same.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Excuse
Walker,
me,
this is
also...
not a situation. Fisher, I hope you're kidding. Sit back down.
I have to poo.
I sit
And
back down and look
The
right
whole,
at Dex.
the whole boardroom goes eerily quiet, and all you hear is the overhead fan just...
I think what he means to say is the food we had for lunch has hit his stomach not so well, because I'm feeling it too.
And the man behind the in the large leather chair who looks furious, the bald man, just breathes deeply.
It's all right. Don't be mad. I mean, it's nature calls, right? Right, guys? Right?
And no one laughs. Just everyone remains silent. In fact, you can hear the creak of the leather as they all turn towards the man in the big chair, waiting for his reaction.
I looked at the guy beside me. I said, "Did you eat it also?" And I tossed him the marble. I said, "Catch this."
Okay, what's the marble do again?
It says,
Marble madness. When tossed another person, if that person catches it, they suffer temporary insanity, gibberish, catatonic running, screaming for 10 minutes. Brilliant use.
That is a great use.
Perfect.
That's
But
fantastic.
for sake of the actual rules, we're going to say no. No, I'm just kidding. He'll roll.
Alright, roll.
Imagine I
So,
was that kind of GM. No.
yeah, so I basically said, catch this. You know.
Okay, so let's see what happens. It'll be simple, but 3 or higher.
Then I will use whatever.
Well, you know what?
roll.
You roll. Right. Sorry.
And I'm going to use effort, so it's automatic.
Okay. So he kind of catches it like, oh, and the chairman looks at you like, what the hell is going on? And he touches it and looks up at you, and you see his eyes just go kind of black almost, and he goes. And everyone at the table's like, oh! And the chairman kind of pushes his chair back, and the guy jumps up on the table, and he starts undoing his pants, and he starts taking a shit in the center of the table, just. And everyone is like, oh my god! And the chairman is like, adjourn, we will recess.
I say, someone get him some water. It'll help him, and I run out.
Out of the office, just, ah!
Is it just us then? Is it just us and him on the table?
If you don't want to run out, yeah.
I say, close the door and the blinds. I can do the decks.
So you do.
Oh,
that.
I'm just staring at the guy, shaking my head.
I'm fine. Liam, close the door. Close the blinds. We can use this.
Right away.
And I hand him a glass of water.
Okay.
I say, drink this.
And he takes a glass of water and he pours it on his head.
Well, it says the device, if I can get him to drink, it stops it.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes or until someone gives them a glass of water to calm them.
Yeah, well.
That's what it specifically says.
Okay, fine. So he's calmed.
All right. And he must be exhausted from that exertion. And he sees the shit on the floor. I say, you were having an episode? Sit down and we'll help you.
And he kind of looks at you with a glass of water. No, wait. Where'd you get water from?
I imagine we're in a boardroom and there's water on the table. Like fancy
I will
bosses.
support that. Yeah, I'll support that.
All the board tables that I've been around have had one.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so he kind of calms down and he looks at you.
You might want to find some toilet paper, man.
No, stay there. It's fine. You know, we're getting you some. Here, sit down. I gotta change of clothes.
I gotta change. Oh my god. Oh my god.
We gotta change now.
You're
Did anyone
weird.
leave any jackets behind or anything as they fled the scene?
Oh my god.
You're so fired, man.
Shut up, Dex.
Oh my god.
But
Oh my god.
And I go into his I walk around the table to where his jacket was. Is he still wearing his coat?
No, I'm not.
No, I wasn't asking him. I was asking you.
He's not.
I want to.
It made a difference.
I want to look for his wallet and see if I can get any information on him.
Okay, so his pants are still around his ankles. So he kind of stops for a second, and you reach in and you grab his wallet, and he goes, "Oh my god."
Who's your doctor? I look as if I'm looking for his information.
And he stands up and he pulls up his pants quietly and buckles them. And he kind of just goes to try to step down from the table, asking for a hand.
Easy. And I help him down. I say, sit down.
Okay. And he does not sit down. He walks over to the large chair and he says, "I am so fucked." Oh god.
Yeah.
All right. And
It was
he
a boring
runs
meeting
full
anyway.
speed towards the plate glass window, and he jumps through it. And in a shatter of glass, which just fills the office with whistling wind and just an immense noise and a little bit of splattered blood, he goes throwing out the window, screaming all the way down.
Okay. Well, that didn't work.
No, it did.
Well, I wasn't
But
trying to do that.
It's okay. I mean, this is just a fake world anyway, so like, why does it? It doesn't really matter. I mean,
Well-
man, the guys that probably really hurt kind of sucks, but it's fake. It's all fake, so it's cool.
Well, is it fake though? I mean, he thinks it's real, and if we were, maybe our world is fake, and
It's
Probably
fake. Lie. Just don't worry about it. Just
So you're
do what
standing
you-
there with the whistling room having a pretty easy conversation about some guy who just fucking killed himself. Liam, how are you feeling?
I'm sitting down and I'm very, very shaken because I've never experienced anything like that before, and I'm also like just overwhelmed with how easy Dex is taking it, and there's a part of me that feels like Sly may have done it on purpose, knowing the guy was doing this.
I see Liam looking kind of uneasy and a bead of sweat going down his face, and I say, "Man, yeah, you've had a weird day. You should probably get some rest."
Okay, let's use this time before they come in here. I mean, our story's clear. He went crazy. Everyone saw that. It's not going to be hard to sell that he jumped out the window. But before they get in here, let's
Liam,
try to get as
Liam,
much information
I'm
as we
going to
can.
do an intrusion before he finishes that sentence, and you can't take it. Actually you freak out, but you blame Sly too. So if you want to do an intrusion, I will give you 1 point of XP.
That is an excellent question. Do I want to? Yeah, I think I will. I think I will.
Okay.
So I will give the XP to Sly. Just for taking it. But all right.
Okay.
No, seriously, Sly, did you know that was going to happen? Like you knew that thing caused people to go crazy. Like why did you want to do that to someone? Why would you purposely make someone go crazy?
Okay, before you do that, you are going to say everything but you're going to take the advantage while Sly is not looking, and you're actually going to push his face into the poop. You're going to take his face and slam it into the poop. It won't do damage, but it'll be very gross.
That's an extra intrusion.
That's the intrusion. You're going to attack him, but rather than do damage, you're going to attack him with the poo. You can take the poo and throw it at him if you want. Either way. But
I'm
you're
not going to
throwing
touch
the poop
another
at him.
guy's feces.
But are you going to shove your friend's face into the shit?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that either, because that's just so not my character.
That doesn't seem like a situational intrusion. That's like...
Well, you
Like
can spend the XP so that we don't have it happen.
Yeah, I will do that then.
Well,
I'll
I
spend
can change it, but I'm trying to think of something that will be worthwhile than just getting mad at him. What would you suggest as a better intrusion?
You know what? Fuck it, guys. If it's all fake, I'm going after him. And I start running towards the window.
Okay, how is that less so than mine? No, you know what? You took the intrusion, you throw the poo at him. You for a moment of sanity lost, you go, you caused this, and you take it and you throw it at his face.
Moving forward, we should know what the intrusion is before we accept it.
No, because I think that's a legit intrusion. I think you might not do it, but that's kind of the point of an intrusion.
This is like in games like Fallout and Dragon Age where like the voice option says like, yes, I agree with you, and then they go on and speak and it says, yes,
totally
you
different.
fucking bastard.
That's to me how an intrusion should work. So you throw the poop at him in a moment of rage. No, you're not thinking. Liam wouldn't do this. You're thinking, I can't. And realistically, Liam being someone who is literally against fighting a creature who they know is fighting, you've basically been involved in someone killing themselves without your consent or knowledge. So you are very frustrated, and for some reason, you grab the poo.
So I will do that
Throw it
then.
at his face. Okay, so the feces hits your face, Sly.
Do I not get a dodge, a defense roll?
It's not gonna hurt you, so no, you just get hit with poop because you made
You
it.
really want this to happen.
Okay, well, you can do a dodge roll, but go for it.
I can do a dodge roll.
It's gonna be insane. Insane difficulty. No, it'll be normal. Whatever his normal throwing attack was. That would miss. So he hits you with poop. Only a little bit gets in your mouth. It's fine.
Good.
So just a
And I
little
just-
bit gets in your mouth.
So is it on my
Dex,
face
gotta
or did it hit me
watch
in the
your
shirt?
It is in your face and it's a little bit on your shirt, yeah.
Okay.
But you know,
I
it's
walk
okay.
over to one of the jackets that are still there.
Yeah.
And I wipe my face off.
There. Easy.
And I look at Liam and I say, "Why did you do that?" I don't know.
He's had a rough day, Sly. I can't blame him. I would
my
have thrown
day's
it
not
too.
getting much better.
I would have thrown it too. The way
Okay.
you behaved there was amazing, but I would have thrown it too, even if you hadn't put the marble there. You know?
I say, well.
And I will just
I
get
didn't-
fetal and cry.
I go up to Liam. I say, Liam, I didn't want that to happen either. I thought it would give a diversion so that we could get out of the room, but the way things went, it's a tragedy. But if Dex is right, none of this is real, and we need to just get home to our loved ones.
And two men enter the room immediately and sort of pay no regard to you. And they're carrying a plate glass window. And they kind of walk in and they start clearing glass from the broken window.
This happened a lot.
And they kind of look towards you like, what?
You got a full plate of glass window there, ready to put it up? Does this happen a lot?
And he just kind of laughs.
I go over to Dex. I say, Dex, he doesn't know what you're talking about, actually.
What do you mean?
I think we're going to have another meeting in a little bit, as if nothing happened. I say we just sit in our chairs and wait to see what happens. And I go and sit back to where I was sitting.
Can we wipe the poop up? Is this like...
I say give it
It's on his face now.
I say give it.
Can you wipe that
give
off,
it,
man?
Well, I have wiped some of it off. I say give it a minute.
You just smeared it in more.
No, I'm pretty sure I got all of it, actually.
You got most of it, but the smell still lingers.
I say, here,
By
give
the
me your
way,
beer, and maybe I can get some
Are you?
more.
I figure you're Sly. I
Did the-
figure.
Did the beer actually translate with us?
The beer?
Yeah, did anything translate with us?
No, I
Apparently
think
the
technically nothing does, but
Except for the ciphers.
ciphers. But I will say that the coaster did too.
What
Okay.
Because
about our
she gave it a
weapons?
special-
No
No,
weapons.
you get equal weapons,
Yeah.
like type thing. But also because this is kind of a weird one, I'm gonna say no.
I have a
Because
bazooka on my back. Yeah.
yeah, right. Like you can find them. I'll say anywhere. Like you can probably find something to arm yourselves. Just no ranged weapons.
I say whatever. I'll go wash off, and I say I'm gonna go find a washroom. And I
It's just
won't
the
go-
smell. It's just the smell of the poop. It's not the actual poop. You're fine.
Oh, okay. Then I sit
Well,
down.
now left because you just you got it off, but it smells. You still smell the poop.
All right, I'll sit down in my chair. So you guys, I bet you just give it a couple minutes. They'll be back in here. Liam, get up. You're fine.
Liam, are you fine?
Yeah. Okay.
I
I'll sit
saw
down
your
beside
penis. I
him.
know you're a man. Come sit down.
Oh, that's low.
That's cute. I like that.
All right. That's cute. I'm like, that's low, and you're like, that's cute. All right, so you sit back down, and the guys continue doing the work. They kind of brush out the glass and clean up the blood, and they put the thing in. They clock it, and they kind of nod to each other, and they leave.
Before they do, I say, can you get somebody to do something about the poop on the table?
And they're like, why is there poop on the table?
I don't know, but can you get someone?
All right. And they walk over, and they walk away. And the other guy bags it like, we got it. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait.
Well, apparently I've been wrong a few times.
So where are we? I'm kind of looking around, and I'm looking at the slideshow. And what's the slide for?
The slideshow just says like kind of. Actually, roll an intellect.
I will do so. I will not use effort though.
No.
6 standard.
Okay. You know what? It's not tough. Basically, everything on it just seems kind of like nonsense words, like fiscal quarter, synergy is mentioned like 6 times, but not in a sense that they actually know what the word is. Just kind of says that the synergy is working towards our fiscal quarter, but without the possibility of future sales, our rise in sales this year will not synergize well with the fiscal quarter. And you're kind of like, that doesn't really mean anything.
No, but I'm nodding as if I understand it.
Yeah, and
because
the
to me it makes sense. I just don't get it.
The pie chart there is like just kind of split into random numbers, but none of the numbers are explained as to what they mean.
Is it a pie chart of all their favorite bars?
No, it does.
Or
like
a bar
again,
graph of all their favorite pies?
ooh, that would be good. No, it's not. It's not silliness, but it is. It doesn't seem like make sensey. That
Seems like it's just pseudo business speak.
very much so pseudo business.
Hmm. Anything out the window there, Sly?
I'm sitting down.
Oh, okay. Well, I walk over to the window and take a look.
So yeah, you take a look at the window and you look down. And well, first off, you look out and it's kind of a this beautiful cloud range, but there's really nothing else in the skyline. There are no other buildings. There are no other anything. And looking down, you cannot see the bottom of the tower. It's just cloud.
I want to check the coaster when we have a sec.
Sure. So you look at the coaster, and it looks to be a coaster, but like a metal one, nicer.
But it doesn't seem to be deteriorating at all.
No, not at this time.
Well, guys, we got a supercomputer to find. We could wait here. Maybe the supercomputer will come to us. But I don't know. I think we might have better luck finding it. You know.
So as you're waiting there, someone pops their head in and says, "Fisher, Walker, what are you guys doing here?" They rescheduled the meeting for tomorrow because Jenkins killed himself.
Oh, did he?
Hey, he threw himself out the window. You guys were here the whole time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, we saw that. It was weird, right?
Yeah, it was really weird.
No, and he laughs, and then he walks out.
Yeah, this is weird. And I get up and I say, I guess we have the time to go look for this computer now. I think you're right, Dex.
Well, Liam already took the initiative and left. So you guys follow Liam.
Yeah, where'd Liam go?
And you exit the meeting room, and what you see is a comically large sea of cubicles. You actually can't see the end. All you can see is that it kind of disappears into the horizon. And all the cubicles are only about your waist high, so they don't actually serve a purpose. All you can see is a bunch of people sitting at desks with a cubicle that comes up just to their belly button, and they're typing away on typewriters.
Are the desks kind of small?
They don't even really look like desks. They look like cubicles that have been bent to form desks.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I go to the nearest cubicle, the guy working.
Yeah.
And I say, "Hey, how's the fiscal? How are the overheads looking?"
He says, "Well, you know, we've made sure to synergize them this year, but with a 2% fiscal increase, I don't think we're going to be making that first quarter like we did last year."
Yeah, well, make it happen.
And he stops typing. What?
Make it happen. I said make it happen.
Make what
You
happen?
got a problem with me? You got a problem with me? What did I say? What did I say? What did I
Quickly, I'm throwing shit at him.
what did I
Make
say?
what happen?
What did I say?
Make what happen?
Make the synergy happen.
And he just kind of looks at you.
Anyway, I'm looking for a supercomputer. Where can I find that?
And he just kind of turns back to his typing.
Okay, I go to the next guy.
So the next guy is a girl, sexist.
Oh, okay.
She's doing
Good.
the same.
Good.
I'm looking for wires. Are any of these things wired?
No, the typewriters are all...
But are there any wires going anywhere in this place?
Give me a intellect, or whatever we would do to search. And Liam, what are you doing? Besides unmuting yourself.
Sorry, I missed a lot of that because I'm trying to get baby organized still. I apologize, guys.
That's okay. You're outside in the cubicle, the sea of cubicles, and Justin poked someone or got mad at somebody for some reason.
It doesn't seem like they know what they're doing either. They're just kind of robotic, doing their business over and over again. Hamster and wheel.
Oh. Okay.
Every once in a while, people kind of pass you with like a stack of papers, like looking very important.
That says Tim's manuscript.
Yeah, I'll grab them and be like, "Oh, I was waiting for this. Thank you."
Do you grab them from the guy?
Yeah.
Jump out the window.
Okay. So you snatch them out of his hand. I won't make you roll for it because he's not really holding very tightly.
Yeah. Oh,
And he just kind of
I've been
stops.
totally waiting for these. Where have you been?
And he just kind of stops and looks at you. What are you doing?
Well, where did you think these were going? This is what I need for my report.
What? No, these are going to the boss. This is the report.
No. Did you do this yourself?
And another guy comes walking down, holding another stack of papers, and this guy stops and says, "He just took my report." And that guy goes, and keeps walking.
Yeah, well, filled with errors, obviously. That's why we need to double check your work now. Thank you.
And the guy kind of just stops and looks, okay. And he looks at your name tag. Okay. And he turns around and walks the way he came.
Okay, let's follow that guy up to the boss. I figure the supercomputer will be near a boss, but how did you do on those cables?
I don't know.
13. Success. So you take a look at, and everything seems very plain Jane. The wall, the glass walls, everything seems very crisp and clean. Bless you. And everyone in the entire cube, everyone goes, "Bless you," at the same time. And anyway, everything seems very crisp and clean. You can't see any wires, no, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, the guy who had the papers going to the boss has stopped, but maybe the other guy. I see the next guy with papers. Are you taking those to the boss?
And the guy goes, "Yeah."
Good. I'm gonna grab the papers from Liam. I'm going too.
Oh, okay.
And let's go.
He goes into, he starts walking the direction he was going.
And I follow Sly.
Perfect. So you all follow, and you go up to the into kind of the hallway, and there's a set of, like, again, a ton of elevators you just can't see. And he presses the button on it, and the elevator door opens, and he steps in.
All right, so let's go in as well. Yeah.
So three of you step in, and he kind of looks at you, and he presses the button that says "boss," and everything else is just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of. They're not numbers. You can't actually see what they are. They're just kind of squiggles. Just random squiggles all over here. And as you kind of follow your eyes down, you realize they go onto the floor and up to the back wall and around, and they kind of follow the border. But he just presses the one that says "boss," and it's right at the top. And the elevator kind of hums.
Is there one that says supercomputer?
You can take a look around.
Yeah, why not?
Well, you have time anyway, because it would be a little while. You search pretty much every one, but nothing says the word supercomputer. Probably because it's too long.
Oh, okay.
Anything SC?
Nothing SC either, no.
So I say to the guy, just casual conversation, I say, so when was the last time you were down at the supercomputer? Or up?
and he kind of looks at you, and he's kind of like, "What?"
Parlez-vous English?
What?
Oh, that was French. It was a joke. When was the last time you were at the supercomputer, man?
What's supercomputer?
I look at his name tag.
And it says, Michael.
Michael. Well, I mean, you guys must have some sort of supercomputer. We must have a supercomputer here. We've got a supercomputer.
He says, "There's no supercomputer. I don't even know what you're talking about."
Oh, there's no, like, big data server place where all the computers get hooked up?
And the elevator stops, and he looks at you and he goes, "Where do you think you are?" And he steps off the elevator, and he turns. And as he turns, he's entering kind of a sea of men and women carrying stacks of paper, and they're all filing to the right.
That guy was rude.
All right. So we go to the pile and we follow suit.
Okay, so you enter the thing and the line, and everyone is kind of lining up, turning a corner, and you look down, and you're actually standing on a big yellow kind of ribbon painted on the ground. And you turn the corner, and the walls are now from that beige, whitish to a beautiful velvety red, and they reach beautiful high ceilings, and you can actually feel yourself a little dizzy, maybe with the height or something, of the building because you're so far up. And on the far side of the room are these massive, beautiful mahogany wooden doors with large print "boss" written right over it. And all they're doing is they're lining up, they're taking big stacks of these papers and dropping them into a sort of
Mail slot.
And then they're moving on. And as you approach, you see someone standing there, kind of anxiously waiting on the other side of the mail slot.
He's just waiting for something to go through, like.
No, it looks like he's waiting at the door, and after a second, he knocks on the door, and everybody in the line stops. And they wait a second, and they disperse.
I disperse with them.
Okay, and they're all running back to the elevators.
I hide behind a plant, a fern.
Okay, Sly, Michael, or Sly Liam?
I stand there.
Okay, and as the crowd disperses, you recognize the man as the person you took the papers from, Liam.
Yep.
And
how did he get here?
What's that?
How did he get here?
Express elevator.
He took the elevator on the other side of the building that he walked to.
All right. Oh, hey. I took another look through your report. Everything looks okay. I don't know why I was told to double check it.
He says, do you have the report?
Sly has it.
Here it is. And I bring it up to him. I say, there you go. All finished.
And he takes it and he says, oh, thank God. And he puts it in the mail slot and shuts it. And then he walks to the room.
I had this feeling that something bad was going to happen.
As he walks out, you hear a voice on the other side of the door. What is it?
It's Fisher. I'm here to talk to you.
About what?
Some of the employees have not been synergizing to make the fiscal year.
Give me a intellect roll.
Oh, the tension is killing me. All I can hear is...
17. Okay. You hear the voice say, very well. What would you need to speak to me about?
Again, the workers not synergizing to meet the fiscal year.
So speak to me.
Am I inside the room? I'm speaking through the door?
You're speaking through the door.
I find I make good presentations when I can speak face to face with my audience.
Very well. Enter.
And
the massive doors swing open on their own. And as light kind of seeps in, you see a massively long hall and a chair sitting behind a desk next to a massive window, and just a silhouette of a figure sitting in that chair.
And I walk up to him.
Okay.
I think if they had access to the computer...
Dex and Liam?
I would follow him in.
Okay, Dex.
Still kind of holding his back.
I'm going to stay vigilant behind the fern.
Okay, so the door is shut then, Dex.
Ooh, okay.
And now, I'll give you a chance. If you want to act as they're shutting, you can.
Okay, yeah, I'll run in.
You don't
Put
have
yourself through the mail slot.
No, you know what? I'm going to... No, I'll stay behind the fern. I go as if to go in, but then I'm like, they'll figure it out. Put back down. And I do I have like a phone or something on me?
No.
Pagers.
No, like no technology?
No, they're on typewriters.
Oh, true, yeah. Wallet?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I start going through my wallet and looking at my identity.
Okay.
Cool.
So you two enter the long hall towards this desk, and your shoes kind of click on the hard carpet as you walk towards it.
I think this problem could be remedied, sir, if they had access to the computer.
Computer. And you see the chair turn around, and you see a man sitting in the chair. It's just a man. No different than any of the other men you saw. And he says, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the device that we could ask for the solution to any of our problems.
You know as well as I do that the computer is nothing but superstition. Why do you bring this to me? This religious rhetoric. This has nothing to do with our business.
I think with great risk comes great reward, and I think it's possible that this is our solution that we've been looking for. Have we tried this religious rhetoric as you propose it to be?
Are you attempting to convert me, Fisher? And you, Walker?
No, sir, we're not trying to convert you at all, because why would we? It's, as you said, religious rhetoric, but if it can make sure that we hit our numbers, is it not worth a shot?
And he stands up from the chair and he kind of walks to the large window. He says, "What you say to me makes no sense, gentlemen. You come to me speaking of the computer, as if it's something that can solve our problems, yet for centuries many people have prayed to the computer and heard nothing in response. You make it sound as though it's a physical aspect, not the almighty that so many claim it to be." And he turns around and walks around his desk. "I don't understand your request."
We aren't planning on praying to the computer, sir. We're planning on asking it direct questions.
And he scoffs. "Then go ahead."
Computer, where's cracks?
And the man at the behind at the desk says, "See, you come in here with this religious rhetoric, and then a booming voice says, 'Cracks is in 4286.'"
Thank you,
And the
sir,
man
and
at
I
the desk
run out of the room.
kind of goes, "What? What the fuck was that?"
Excuse me, sir, can you now direct us to where 4286 is?
"What the fuck?" He smashes a button on his desk. He says, "What did they do? Get them!" And the two massive doors swing open, and these hut men kind of come in with staplers. Hut, 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 hut.
Is there like a huge pile of papers I can push on them after all these people have been bringing papers up here?
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not even stacked. They're just lying in piles on the
Okay.
floor. So what do you want to do?
I start running for. I want to see if I can juke them and get beyond them, dodge them.
Perfect. They're not. Yeah, you literally run at them and they start squeezing the stapler, pushing staples at you, like pop, 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 and they're staples, so nothing happens. And you run past them, and Dax is hiding behind a bush, and he says,
Holy shit!
I said, quick! We need to get to 4286.
Where's that?
I'm not sure. Arm yourself with paper and pencils.
and as you're running down the hall, you can feel the coaster in your pocket starting to degrade a little bit.
Okay, we gotta get back. Okay.
So I go,
Computer, how do we get to 4286?
and for a second, again, nothing. And then the booming voice once again. "You must translate to 4286. And the whole building shakes again, and you hear screams from like floors
Liam,
below you.
Dax,
Little
we need
fire
to-
alarms are popping everywhere.
We need to get back to the witch's tree. Concentrate. And I start focus. I grab the coaster and I hand them a piece as we're getting into the elevators, and I close the door.
So you run in the elevators, and you're each holding a corner of the thing. And as you're going down, it's kind of shaking. And before you can even begin to start thinking, the doors open to another sea of cubicles. And all the cubicles are just freaking out. People are screaming and yelling and throwing things. There's little fires in the corner. People are like slamming away at typewriters, and giant fucking pages are flying everywhere, and everyone's just screaming at the top of their lungs. And then the doors shut again with the bang, and the music comes on. Dun, dun, dun,
I'm bringing this with me,
dun,
and I hold up the fern to fly.
Whatever.
The fern still.
I said, think about the witch's tree, and I start thinking about the bitter taste of the tea, and the smell of the pine and the wood, and I smelled the mustiness of it all. And
So
you're
holding the corners of the piece of translation, or the piece of recursion piece, a key I should say. Either way, and you're translating as the elevator's riding and it's bumping and it's thinking, and And as you're considering what to do next, you feel that same feel start to come over you. It bubbles again through your bones and lifts you off the ground, and it kind of thrives through you to the tips of your hair, and everything feels weird and non-existent, existent at the same time. And as you're standing there and your eyes are turning white, the elevator doors open again, and people are standing at the other side of the elevator, just like, huh? And in a flash of light, you disappear, and you are standing once again in the room of Violet's house. And as if not a second passed by, she opens the door, and she looks to you and says, "Well, was it successful?"
We need to
And I
go
look
to
to the
4286. They look to the fern and say, well,
I looked to the
what do
fern
you
and I-
think?
The fern is gone. It's just dust.
Oh.
No.
No.
We need
Damn
to go
it.
to 4286. Krax is there.
And she says,
Oh, really?
4286. What do you mean, oh, really?
Wait, did you guys find the supercomputer?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
so while
she
you were
says-
busy with the fern,
Oh,
we-
nice. Good stuff, guys. I do high fives all around.
So she says 4286, 4286, and she pulls open again the massive book that she has. They're not exactly numbered per se, but certain of them do have. And she kind of gets a look. Interesting. This one won't be easy for you
Is it
guys.
Milkshake Island.
I'm hoping.
And she goes into, again, she goes down into her basement and comes up with, after a bit of clinking and rustling, she comes up with something in her hands, and she places it down in the center of the table. And it looks to be kind of a cup, like a nice goblet. And she says, the recursion that you need to translate to is a bit of a different one, but if Krax is there, it will be your best bet. Now remember, you need to find Krax, and you need to convince him to bring you home. If you fail at that, you need to find another drifter, and again, there's only one I've ever heard of besides Krax.
And who's that?
Bank. J. Bank. If you need to find him, I wish you luck, but I don't even know anyone who's ever seen him.
Well, which? Why are you helping us?
To be honest, because I have also felt at one time that I was not part of this world. When my father passed, he wanted me to take over the kingdom, but I knew that once the spark was in me, I knew all this fiction, it's not real. What's the point? Why bother? But you can't carry that logic into these recursions. I know now that these are, in their own twisted way, real worlds. And I know that if you belong to one that's not your own, you need to get home.
So I will now get down on my knee and hand her the letter.
Perfect. So she looks at you with curious eyes and takes the letter from you and says, "Ah, you spoke with my father." Very
Yes.
well. I appreciate you delivering this. And I will cherish this always. And she hands you the goblet. And she says, "Good luck. And may the force be with you." And she opens the door to the room of translating, I should say.
The room of transitioning.
When you find Krax, she says, as you walk in, she says, "You will need to have him bring you back here first. Understand that."
Back here.
Well, your bodies, your true selves will be here. You still need to have him bring you back here so that your true selves can return home. If you try traveling from another recursion, it'll be the same issue because your bodies will be left here in Daventry.
Got it. Sly, you got it?
Yes.
And,
Liam, you got it?
Dex,
she
you got it?
and she shuts the door, and you guys are once again bathed in almost darkness. And as the light is fading, who's holding the cup?
Not Dex.
Why not?
I don't trust you with anything.
I've got one right here.
All right,
She opens
Liam.
the door again and says, "Oh, by the way, be careful with that. There is only one of it in existence." And already you can start feeling the translation within you as you're starting to kind of twist and turn.
Is this goblet going to disintegrate too? Do we have a time limit on this one?
And she says, "No, this will bring you to where you need to go." But she says, "But in your Earth culture, it was a rather important cup. I think they called that the Holy Grail." And she shuts the door as the bubbles kind of flow up before you, and you start spinning really, really fast. And again, the whole shebang, it bubbles up between you. Your veins begin to pop. They grow wild and weary. Your eyes grow tired, and you feel this time different. You feel as if your skin is melting off and reshaping and reforming around you, and your hair is being changed and grown and shifted, and everything goes black. And as you open your eyes, the three of you are staring at the Holy Grail, the cup that carried or held the blood of Christ. And it sits in a glass case in a museum. And we're going to stop it there. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us this Wednesday night. This has been such a blast. Again, The Strange is such a fun little world. Again, we're not doing it really the way the rules are, because translating is kind of a bitch in itself. But we're going to start throwing these crazy characters into a bunch of wacky worlds, and we're going to see what happens. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for playing along with this. Thank the Facebook group. You guys are hilarious and fun. I love reading this stuff before bed. And again, I want to do a quick reminder that we are launching, quote unquote, the channel for role-playing tomorrow morning. So I'm going to post maybe the link tonight, but it will kind of officially go live tomorrow morning. With any questions you might have, we can do. But it's going to give you all the options you can do to tell your own stories to involve us. And the four of us are going to be there too. At least I know I am. I think Justin is. So we're going to be poking around there and role-playing a little bit with you guys as well in totally separate stories in kind of a fantasy world. So thank you so much for being here. We had a blast. Hope you guys have a great night. Does anyone have anything else to add?
Fun as always. Thank you, Harlan.
All right. Have a good night, guys. And as Chris always likes to say,
we'll see you around the table.
We'll see you around the table, guys. Good night.